Hostages describe the horrors experienced in Hamas captivity.
The president listened to it, absorbed it, and said, it's unacceptable. I'm not going to tolerate this type of behavior.
Witkoff says he remains committed to securing a lasting ceasefire in Gaza, but adds,
I wouldn't test President Trump.
Fox's Jared Halperin, a Hamas commander, though, has warned new military action could threaten the lives of the hostages. Special Envoy Witkoff also confirming that he and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will meet with a delegation from Ukraine in Saudi Arabia next week to begin the preparations for possible peace talks with the Russians. President Trump has paused until early next month most of the tariffs he imposed on Mexico just 2 days ago. He and Mexico's President Sheinbaum spoke by phone today about the president's insistence that Mexico do more to stop fentanyl trafficking into the U.S. The White House says there'll also be a 1-month tariff exemption on Canadian goods imported under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. The House has voted to censure Texas Congressman Al Green for his outbursts Tuesday night during the president's speech to Congress.
The yeas are 224. The nays are 198, with 2 answering present. The resolution is adopted.
10 Democrats joined all of the Republicans, the House Republicans, in voting yes. Speaker Johnson later telling Fox it was a sad day in the House. Before the vote, Congressman Green said he would do it all over again. Wall Street trying to recover from steep losses, but an hour before the close, the Dow was down 538 points, NASDAQ off 512. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's only going to get warmer. Cloudy and 39 degrees downtown. Your radar's clear. Low temperatures tonight drop to about 34. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Temperatures have been in the 30s with rain and snow at times this week. But Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service says all that's going to change soon.
Sunday will be in the 50s. Monday, we're thinking 60s. Tuesday, we could have a lot of the area getting up to 70 degrees.
McGinnis says a wintry mix is expected tonight, and then temperatures are going to rise. And if any snow does fall here this evening, it shouldn't stick. The bird flu is spreading, and it's causing farmers in Indiana to lose both sleep and money. Here's Ryan Hedrick.
You probably already know that lots of people depend on Indiana's livestock industry to make a buck.
Well, we are number 1 in ducks. We're number 3 in turkeys. We're number 2 in egg production.
Denise Darrow-Spears from the Indiana State Board of Animal Health says billions of dollars in trade are at risk, and people are losing money every day just trying to stop the bird flu.
It's a big challenge. Some of our trading partners internationally will put restrictions on where they will take products from.
Nearly 7 million birds have died in the state this year from the bird flu. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Lake County Sheriff's Department's, or the Lake County Sheriff's Department, rather, is now cooperating with ICE after threats from Attorney General Todd Rokita. He says he gave the office a warning and sent 2 letters recently to the Lake County Sheriff's Department threatening a lawsuit if they don't comply.
We will continue our ongoing conversations with ICE and Lake County to ensure the department is complying with Indiana law.
Rokita says he sued the Monroe County and St. Joseph County Sheriff's Departments after they refused to cooperate with ICE, which he says is state law. Every one of the nearly 2,400 local governments in Indiana has costs associated with property taxes. And some lawmakers feel that's one reason why they've gotten so high.
We all want everybody to have good public safety, right? So how do we work together and partner, but how do we also make sure that we're delivering services at the local level?
Vernon Township trustee Flory May offering testimony to the House Ways and Means Committee Wednesday. Some of those representatives are indicating they believe merging some townships may be part of the solution to bringing property tax costs down. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Greetings from our agency, your Indiana Health Insurance Pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for making us national sales leaders once again for 2024. Crazy sign-up periods are at last over. If you were told the ACA and you know it's still Obamacare was your only option, that's just not true. If you were told since you've signed up already, you must keep your ACA program for a year, that's not true either. If you do not have serious health problems, and God forbid make a living wage, the ACA is your worst option, and it can be canceled at any time. We feature coverages guaranteed age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. Self-employed, early retiree, or ACA victim, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. As always, God bless America. Peace through strength and common sense government.
The traffic on the 5s at 3:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, looking to westbound 70 stop-and-go traffic for about a mile and a half before State Road 9 Greenfield. That's going to be just to the east of the State Road 9 exit. Also, inbound 65 slows 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies later this afternoon. It will be a breezy day and cooler with highs near 46. Partly cloudy tonight, lows fall to 31. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel. Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
If you want to be a numbskull like Justin Trudeau and say, oh, we're going to do this, then tariffs are going to go up. But if you want to sit back, have a discussion with the Commerce Department, USTR, they all have my phone number too.
What did he say there in the beginning? If you want to be a what like Justin Trudeau?
Numbskull. U.S. Treasury Secretary dropping a casual numbskull in there.
Talking about the governor of Canada, correct?
Yes.
Justin Trudeau.
The governor.
Lots of new experts, economic experts about the tariffs.
Oh, man. Everything Donald Trump does, all of the new experts, I'm using experts in air quotes there, flood to social media, right? The minute he wants to do tariffs, here come all of the same people that were just experts on Ukraine not that long ago. Here come all of the people that were impeachment gurus not that long ago. Trump is, I just think, one of those dudes, and I think he talked about this in his speech the other night. Doesn't matter what he says. People are going to be upset. He mentioned how I could come up here and I could come up here and announce I've cured a disease and people will still sit there because it's Orange Man bad. It's just been beat into their heads. But this tariff stuff, it's created a lot of new experts on social media. So how about we skip those folks?
No.
As fun as it may be to talk about, and go to somebody that's actually spoken with the president, and that is the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. He was speaking at the Economic Club of New York earlier today.
Oh, I so want to be in that club. How do I sign up to be in the Economic Club?
Dude, tickets were outside. Scalpers said they were going for record prices because they were talking tariffs.
I've said, and I say this because I know it's what President Trump believes. He believes three things. One, that it is a good source of revenues. Two, it protects our important industries and the employees. And three, he's added a third leg to the stool, and he uses it for negotiating.
That's the key, that third leg right there, using it for negotiating.
And for bringing foreign industry back into the United States so they don't have to pay those tariffs, like Honda is doing that we talked about yesterday, leaving Mexico, coming to, I believe, Greensburg, Indiana.
Now, they haven't officially made that announcement yet, but all the leaks are pointing to that. Again, the head of the U.S. Treasury, Scott Bessent, at the Economic Club of New York, talking about how the United States, in regards to our economic issues, it's not about what we're doing, it's about what we're spending.
Let me be clear. The U.S. does not have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem.
Thank you.
We are right where we have been in the long-term averages, 17.5%, 18.5% of revenues. That hasn't changed. What has changed is this blowout spending. Over the past 40 years, the deficit has averaged about 3.5%. So we were at 22% of GDP spending. Previous administration blew it out to 25. Some of the things they put in place, if we hadn't grabbed them by the horns, this thing was going to blow out even more. And so we've stabilized it. We're bringing it down, and we're going to go from there.
I like this guy. He's words like blowout and numbskull. This is a guy I would hang out at the economic club with in New York.
You'd go clubbing with him. Then he would take you to the economic club. Nigel, would you like to go clubbing with me?
Let's go. Where are we going? The economic club.
Oh, okay. Go back to the whole negotiating angle here, because he talked about that earlier. Trump's doing that with Mexico right now. See, this is proof if you're willing to just be a big kid, sit at the big kid table, and have big kid conversations, deals can be worked out. This is what Donald Trump posted on Truth Social earlier today. Quote, after speaking with President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico, I have agreed that Mexico will not be required to pay tariffs on anything that falls under the USMCA agreement. The agreement is until April 2nd. I did this as an accommodation and out of respect for President Sheinbaum. Our relationship's been a very good one, and we are working hard together on the border, both in terms of stopping illegal aliens from entering the United States and likewise stopping fentanyl. Thank you to President Sheinbaum for your hard work and cooperation. Meanwhile, you got Pretty Boy up there in Canada trying to be Johnny Tough Guy, putting out these weird videos, even though his approval rating is somewhere in between gout and hemorrhoids. So
that's not something you want to be in between of.
No.
Stuck in between that.
So let's bring it back a little closer to home here. Okay. Washington, D.C. Allison, can I get some mood music, please? This is a circus.
Okay.
Circus earlier today, clowns involved in the circus. So remember at Trump's speech, you had Representative Al Green of Texas, that homeless-looking, just out of control, never Trump lunatic from Texas, Al Green. He was yelling out things, disrupting things, ultimately was kicked out, right? You had Speaker Johnson up there going full Ted Valentine and kicking him out.
Yeah.
Making him walk out. Well, today they voted to censure Al Green for his childish behavior at that Trump speech to Congress. And while this was going on, the Democrats decided to break out into song. They started singing "We Shall Overcome" when they found out Al Green was being censured.
By its adoption of House Resolution 189, the House has resolved that Representative Al Green be censured, that Representative Al Green forthwith present himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure, and that Representative Al Green be censured with public reading of this resolution by the Speaker.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, for God's sake. Stop it.
We shall overcome.
The House had come to order. The House had come to order.
This guy Green acted like a petulant little child, and now they've turned it into some sort of civil rights movement gospel moment where they're singing a revered song about civil rights. Oh, wow. Oh, that's pathetic.
What did they overcome? They were singing "We Shall Overcome." What did they overcome?
This specifically, this little incident right here, nothing.
Right.
They look like a bunch of dummies.
They didn't even really rush to support Al Green when he got kicked out. Like, he was Mr. Johnny Tough Guy in there getting applause from his colleagues. Once he was shown the door, it wasn't like everybody left and followed him. He was kind of out there on an island by himself. Nigel, if you're looking for a reason to drink tonight,
hit me.
Happy 53rd birthday to Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq Daddy, Diesel. Okay, I like
53.
Shaq.
I do too. Shaq is one of these guys that I don't think he's a Republican. He's not conservative, but he's also not a lunatic, right? He tries to come at you with some common sense. Here he is talking about why we should have police officers in schools.
You know, a lot of people talk about getting these guns off the streets. The only problem with that is there's 15 million of them out there already on the streets. And then another problem is if you ban them, then you're going to create an underground market, and the gun collectors, you know, is going to become more valuable. I think the quick fix now, the government should give law enforcement more money. You get more money, you recruit more people, and the guys that are not ready to go on the streets, you put them in front of the schools. You put them in front of the schools, you put them behind the schools, you put them inside the schools. See, I grew up on a military base, and there was always military police in front of the school, behind the school. We didn't have a lot of 3 p.m. fights. They were all over the base. You start fighting around 3 p.m., the military police will show up. So I would like to see our kids, you know, protected a little more.
Okay. All right, there's some good stuff in there. Some stuff I'd push back on a little bit, but yeah, of course.
And I want to say Shaq is deputized in one of these states. I can't remember if it's Louisiana or Florida. You know, he grew up, you know, playing college basketball at LSU, but spent a lot of time balling in the state of Florida. But he's always been big into law enforcement. And speaking of big, how big is Shaquille O'Neal? Our pal Scott Pollard. Yeah. He was just on with us, I think, last week. Scott's a big dude himself.
Former Indiana Pacer.
Correct.
Jayhawk, Kansas City Jayhawk.
I think he's like 6'10", 6'11". This is Scott Pollard telling us, Nige, at our old podcast, how big Shaq actually is.
He's a big human. I got to tell you a story that will tell you exactly, because there was one time when I was with the Kings and I guarded him a lot more when I was in the West. We were in the playoffs against them several times, so we'd play each other between 7 and 14 times, depending on what the playoff matchups were and the preseason schedule and all that. So we were very familiar with each other. I was guarding him quite a bit. And this guy, one time, we're down there, and I'm guarding him, and there was a timeout. I run to the timeout, and the assistant coach comes over to me and goes, "Hey, I was just about to yell at you for not guarding Shaq," and then he moved, and I saw you were behind him.
Shaq is so big, you couldn't see Scott Pollard behind him.
And Scott Pollard's a giant.
Big human. Last but certainly not least, great moments in Shaq history. This is Shaquille O'Neal telling a story about how some of his Laker teammates were not happy that Kobe Bryant was ball hogging, and Shaq tried to help by speaking to Kobe.
The day Kobe gave my respect was the guys were complaining. I said, "Shaq, Kobe's not passing the ball." I said, "I'll talk to him." I said, "Kobe, there's no I in team." And Kobe said, "I know, but there's an in me in that mother." I said, "Just get the rebound. He's not passing."
Great moments in Shaq history.
Funny.
I hate the fact that we missed out on him being the DJ at Carb Day a couple years ago. Remember?
What happened on that? The NBA playoffs still going on or something? They're getting away with
Yeah,
that?
there was like a game 6 or 7 that got extended.
Right.
And his NBA duties prohibited him from being the Carb Day DJ. Matt Baer, what's going on?
Yeah, Hammer southbound 65, stop and go traffic 21st to Meridian Penn. It's a crash in Boone County, northbound 65 after State Road 267. And this is blocking the left lane, causing stop and go traffic for about a mile and a half back to State Road 267. Traffic sponsored by Wendy's. Try a $3 son of a Baconator today. Big news, bacon lovers. Wendy's son of a Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. That's a whole lot of bacon for just $3. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, sunshine and 40 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. When we come back, somebody found something in their Cheetos bag. Nationally,
Cheetos?
And locally. 2 different stories, 2 different things found in a Cheeto bag. We've got updates next.
You might be asking yourself, when is the right time to file for Social Security? And it's a difficult decision because you got to consider that Social Security is running out of money, and you also need to consider the tax hit on your benefits and your IRA and 401k withdrawals, and you got to think about your spousal benefits as well. If you don't consider all the things I just mentioned, you could leave a lot of money laying on that table, and trust me, you do not want to do that. That's your money.
Located in Indy, Bill Demery, your retirement guy. So if you've saved over $200,000, but you have not yet filed for Social Security, call Bill Demery. He'll give you a free and customized Social Security analysis. All you have to do is set it up. It's free. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. 317-648-5120.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man. High five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, Bike Shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messelthorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today.
Today.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I got a confession to make. Occasionally, as parents, my wife and I will buy our kids those big boxes of snack packs with Cheetos and Fritos and Doritos and Lay's potato chips. Sometimes we give our kids snacks that aren't very good for them. Confessing,
I totally thought you were going to say you buy them for the kids, but you end up eating them yourself.
That too. You know me so well. That's why it scares me when I saw the headline that 40 pounds of meth were found in Cheetos bags in southern Indiana.
40 pounds of meth. Good Lord.
I love a good Cheeto, man.
I thought you were going to say meth. Allison thought the same thing. She looked at me like, oh my God, is he going to say he loves some meth? Detectives in marked law enforcement vehicles attempted to stop the suspects as they tried to flee. One of the suspect vehicles hit a deputy's car. 36-year-old Goldie Fleener and 46-year-old Natasha Garner, both from Los Angeles, were taken into custody without incident, but they were trying to smuggle meth inside these Cheeto bags.
Little cross-country meth trip, huh? Meth isn't the same kind of stuff as fentanyl in terms of like if a police officer accidentally opens a bag of meth and the powder goes all over the place, they don't need Narcan or anything to.
No.
You know what I mean? Like fentanyl, that happens, and they accidentally inhale some of that stuff, then you're going to need some attention pretty quick.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Okay.
I think with meth, you've got
Okay.
to ingest it, right?
Yeah.
But fentanyl, you can just be in the same room and have it, be in the air.
Yeah.
We've heard about police officers where they're pulling somebody over if they've had if they've had fentanyl on them and they tried to flee and it kind of sprays up in the air.
Oh, we heard about the story of the Spring Breakers in Florida who one of their buddies passed out and was ODing on meth, and they tried to give him mouth-to-mouth. And the guy that gave him mouth-to-mouth was then ODing on fentanyl. On fentanyl.
Yeah.
Did I say meth? I meant fentanyl. So, yeah, that stuff is super, super dangerous.
More Cheeto updates here because the Hammer and Nigel show is your official home of Cheeto updates. A Pokemon-shaped Flamin' Hot Cheeto has sold for $87,840 to an unnamed buyer.
Who is this loser? I know it's unnamed, but I'm pleased. Loser could probably be a good word to describe this person if you're spending $87,000 on a Pokemon-shaped Flamin' Hot Cheeto.
The bidding started at $250 in mid-February and then spiraled up to $87,840. It's a 3-inch Cheeto, and it's shaped like a character from the Pokemon series.
Okay.
And they've got it in like an enclosed box, so nothing happens to the Cheeto.
I'd say we had the story a few months ago about how some quote-unquote artist had this giant white canvas with a banana taped to it.
Just duct taped to it.
And it was sold for a few $1 million, multiples of millions of dollars. And then the guy that bought it immediately took the banana off the canvas and ate it. So that in and of itself was sort of performance art. I'm going to spend all this money on this canvas with the banana taped to it, and then I'm going to eat it. I'm wondering if the same thing is going to happen with this Pokemon-shaped Flamin' Hot Cheeto. I'm really tired of saying Pokemon-shaped Flamin' Hot Cheeto.
Would you rather have it be loaded with meth from southern Indiana?
Let me think about that. I'll get back to you.
Today is National Oreo Day.
Yeah.
Oreo cookie.
Oh, man.
So here's my question for the brain trust in this room. Nige, Allison, is the Oreo cookie the #1 cookie of all time? If you're doing a March Madness style bracket of cookies, does Oreo go above or below regular chocolate chip or macadamia nut cookie or whatever?
Yeah, above all those. Yeah.
#1 seed?
Yes.
Allison?
Are you including like homemade cookies, or is it just when you go to the cookie aisle?
Something you can buy in a store.
Yeah, the Oreos are on top.
Yeah,
for me.
Oreos. I think they're on top.
You know you're a fatty like I am when sometimes you've used Oreos as like a way to accent other desserts, right? You've crunched up Oreos and you've put it into pudding, or you've made like an Oreo cake or an Oreo cream pie. If you use Oreo as part of a recipe, then maybe you're a fatty like me.
Yeah, and I'm going to say something else. I don't know about you, but it's teetering back and forth between traditional Oreo and golden Oreo.
What?
I will support you in this one. I don't always usually jump on that hill with you. Golden Oreo, greater than regular Oreo.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Golden Oreo, greater
said,
than the regular.
Hold on, I just said I was teetering back and forth. I didn't make the commitment.
I'm going all in.
Whoa!
I pushed my golden Oreos to the middle of the table. I'm going all in, Allison.
Yeah, you can keep your golden Oreos. That's so wrong. Double stuffed, the chocolate. That's the traditional. It's America. That's it.
It's America.
Take the double stuff, unscrew the top of 2 of them, put them together, quadruple stuffed.
Yeah, we can all get behind that.
Again, fat
You are
guy
a
hacks.
genius.
Fat guy hacks on the Hammer and Nigel show.
Whether you're preparing for retirement, navigating a life transition, or simply wondering if you're on the right path, Howard Bailey Financial is here to help. Together, we'll work on a personalized plan designed to bring greater clarity to your goals and help you approach decisions with confidence. It's not just about numbers, it's about the life you want to lead and the legacy you want to leave behind. With over 20 years of experience, Howard Bailey Financial has been dedicated to guiding individuals as they work toward taking control of their financial future and finding peace of mind. Text PATH to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement toolkit and start planning for the retirement you've dreamed of. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Woo, up top, bike shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Thorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo.
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Still spreading. Partly cloudy, 39 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Completely clear in your radar. Low of 34 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:32. Almost 7 million birds have died from bird flu in Indiana this year. And now a commercial duck breeder in Adams County is the latest to be affected. Denise DeRare-Spears says this is the 4th year Indiana's been dealing with this strain.
In 2022, we had 16 sites that were directly affected by it. Then you go to the next year, in 2023, we only had 1. And then 2024, we only had 2. And then so this year, we're already above 20.
Spears says that farm in Adams County is the 22nd farm in Indiana to be hit by the flu this year alone. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer believes getting rid of the Department of Education would be a terrible idea.
This would be, if it happens, one of the most destructive and devastating steps that Donald Trump has ever taken. Who's going to be the victim? Americans' kids, America's school children.
There are reports that President Trump is drafting an executive order that would do just that. However, he can't disband the departments without an act from Congress. The Lake County Sheriff's Department is now cooperating with ICE after they got a warning from Attorney General Todd Rokita. Here's Jake McDaniel.
This comes after ongoing discussions between sheriffs and federal immigration officials. Rokita says sheriffs need to cooperate with ICE because it is required by state law.
Eliminating another sanctuary jurisdiction from our state is a major win for us. It's a major win for the rule of law and especially Hoosier taxpayers.
Rokita says the Indiana General Assembly passed a law last year allowing him to file lawsuits against universities or local government entities that do not follow Indiana's ban or sanctuary jurisdictions. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
We're just about done with winter, says Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service.
I don't think that the cold, below freezing temperatures are done yet, but we are thinking that a good chunk of March here, going into next week and maybe even the week thereafter should probably be above normal.
McGinnis says another one of those wintry mixes is possible tonight, similar to what you got yesterday after sundown, but then a nice and warm weekend is on the way. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:34.
If you love spring and Indy but hate the paint, do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Visit Rhino Shield's booth at the Flower and Patio Show and learn about their 25-year transferable warranty protection. Plus, receive a free prize.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The traffic at 335. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, northbound 65 in Boone County. Crash after State Road 267, about a mile and a half. And traffic is backed up for that mile and a half back to State Road 267, left lane blocked. Inbound 65 slow, 21st to Meridian Penn, and grinding on eastbound 70 from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. That's a 5-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
This Thursday evening, we're looking at partly cloudy skies becoming mostly cloudy after midnight. Low temperatures around 32 degrees. Winds into the west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Rain-free until the morning. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Seasons change and our love went cold.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Today is something called Black Balloon Day. So we're remembering those lost to OD, lost to overdose. This year, Overdose Lifeline, based out of Indianapolis, dedicated to supporting individuals and families that have been affected by substance abuse. And they mark the day with the launch of this is a completely anonymous digital tool hammer that provides fast, reliable, stigma-free information about substance abuse, harm, and reduction. It's called KATE, K-A-T-E.
I got to be honest, our chats with Matt Bear have really opened my eyes up, because Matt joins us every Friday, usually on this show, and he talks about his battles with sobriety and the folks that he's interacted with and some of his co-hosts who have battled addictions to various substances. What people go through is wild, and I don't want to say it's become commonplace, but I think everybody probably knows somebody, whether it's your family, a friend, an inner circle, who has gone through something like this.
KATE, again, short for Knowledge, Advocacy, Trust, and Education, is, it's basically a platform, and people and families, and it's like a judgment-free resource and offering immediate help to those that are in need and addicted to this stuff. You and I were talking off the air about the difference between somebody dying of a accidental overdose involving fentanyl and or just kind of doing fentanyl by themselves.
Right.
There have been people that have lost their lives thinking they're buying Xanax off the street, right? I'll just say Xanax, just as an example. See, what people do, though, what the drug cartels do is they'll mix in fentanyl. They'll cut it with fentanyl, makes it cheaper. And so this person that thinks they're buying a Xanax that's going to chill them out actually ends up dying accidentally.
Right.
No intention. They were poisoned. And then there's the other side of it where people now are using fentanyl by itself because it's cheaper than heroin. You can't find, as far as I know, finding the kind of heroin that you have to burn with the spoon and the needle and inject it in the veins. I think it's been, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or at Hammer and Nigel, it's been replaced with fentanyl.
Yeah.
And people are taking fentanyl on purpose.
Fentanyl is this generation's cocaine and crack, right?
Or heroin.
Yeah. 100%. Because when we were growing up, like we're both, Gen Xers, right? I'm 47 years old, but I was a kid that kind of grew up watching all this stuff in the 80s. And this is when cocaine and crack were really becoming mainstream, where there were public service announcements about don't smoke crack and the war on drugs. Sometimes we play that really weird Pee Wee Herman public service announcement where he's telling kids don't smoke crack. But as the years have gone by, drugs have become more potent, certainly more accessible. I mean, you could go out onto Monument Circle right now, and if you don't work downtown, whatever community you live in, I bet if you really wanted to, you could find hard drugs within an hour. Just a couple of phone calls is all it would take.
And this Kate thing, it's basically an overdose lifeline, but it's an AI chatbot service. And it's just another option in the toolbox to help people that are struggling with that addiction, that specific addiction.
Yeah, it's a great cause, and we've spoken with some folks at Overdose Lifeline before, and I know Matt Baer has had conversations with these folks, and we'll talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah, overdoselifeline.org for more details on what we've just been talking about.
And we always focus on the victim, the drug user itself. And again, singing praises of Matt here, the one thing that he's done with us is opened up our eyes to the inner circle of those who are addicted. Because when somebody you love is addicted to a substance this powerful, it has, rippling current effects, right? The inner circle, the family, the loved ones, they're all going through hell too.
Yeah.
It's not just the person who is suffering this addiction. So I'm glad that people are able to have these open and honest conversations. And if you ever get a chance, check out Supporting Sobriety. That is Matt Baer's podcast. You hear the word sobriety, you just think alcohol. And that was Matt's issue.
Sure.
But his co-host, Ryan Hedrick, he goes through a lot of other things as well. It's a great resource for those who know somebody going through a tough time and the ones that love those going through the tough time.
And then again, this is coinciding with Black Balloon Day. Black Balloon, that's how they used to, I believe, deliver heroin.
Right, that was the nickname for heroin, right? Black Balloon, because it was kind of how it was delivered.
There was that song with the Goo Goo Dolls.
Baby's Black Balloon.
Yeah.
Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I believe. Now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that was about Anthony Kiedis and his heroin addiction.
They were all addicts. Some of those guys didn't make it either.
No.
Those rock and roll stars out of Hollywood and in Seattle.
Sometimes it's your buddies,
crazy.
man, that can bring you down.
But I wonder what kind of resources back then were available compared to today, like this Kate thing that is launching coinciding with Black Balloon Day. The Overdose Lifeline folks introducing this AI chatbot called Kate, which is kind of, again, just a no judgment advocacy education tool somebody can use, families can use, addicts can use.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can help people. All you got to do is search for it. Go into the search engine of your choosing, whether it's Google, whether it's something else, and just look for Overdose Lifeline Indiana. You're going to find the resources that you need, and they're offering great stuff. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana Health Insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, Call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What are you going to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace through strict.
Hey, if you're a vodka drinker, but you have not tried Barkeep vodka yet, you're missing out. These guys are local, and it is truly the cleanest vodka I've ever tasted. They utilize this filtering process that reduces the bite and the burn and the aftertaste. It's smooth, and it's a better value than almost all the other top-shelf vodkas out there.
Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I know what's a top-shelf quality item, and Barkeep vodka is a top-shelf quality item, but it's sold at a low price. And it's made and distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. When you see a bottle of Barkeep vodka, grab it. BarkeepVodka.com.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
That's Faber's B Window. Trust me.
Call B Window for all your home improvement needs. From windows, doors, siding, to bathroom remodeling, the B team is happy to help you invest in your largest asset, your home. This month only, receive $400 off per window, $850 off per patio or entry door, with 2.99% financing. Proud to be employee owned. Call today or visit bwindow.com.
That's Faber's B Window. Trust me.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun, brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Matthew, what are we looking at?
West Side Canby crash. Raceway Road at Heartland Boulevard crash with injury. Somebody's trapped inside a vehicle. On the southeast side, southbound 465 is south at Shadeland. Right lane closed because of a stall. Slow to Brookville. Also a crash going northbound 65 in the Boone County crash. Northbound 65 about a mile and a half after State Road 267. It's blocking the left lane, stopping traffic for about 2 miles past that 267 interchange. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at DrexelIN.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
42 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The fight over your property tax bill continuing at the State House. We'll keep you up to date on that. Everything you need to know, including a little visit from Rob Kendall going off the rails later on this afternoon at 5:30. My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer over there. A few morning habits. Let me see if you do any of these things, Hammer, because these habits are habits that can make you miserable.
Okay, morning habits.
Morning habits that can make you miserable.
Long peas.
Why would that make you miserable? That would give you a great sense of relief, I would feel like.
Sometimes it burns.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Well, thank you for the context.
Joking.
Now I understand. Morning habits that can make you miserable. I think everybody does this. Everybody listening does this. Immediately reaching for your phone.
Not immediately. Again, there's a pee first. And then when I come back to either grab, shirt, whatever.
Ass.
Yes, grab ass, scratch myself, whatever the case may be, then it's the phone.
They're saying, whoever wrote this article, I don't have the link here, but it's saying giving yourself a chance to wake up, get some coffee in you, because the phone is full of stress. Social media could be stressful.
It's also full of naked ladies.
Oh, well, there's that, too. There's some good parts and some bad parts.
You got to look at that glass half full, Nige.
Not a great way to start your day, immediately reaching for your phone. Does anybody have a traditional alarm clock, by the way, on their bedside anymore? Or is it just their phone?
We use the Amazon Alexa as our alarm. I don't usually use the phone. But we have a backup one at my son's house. In case the power ever goes out and he's got a big test or a big exam, I'd rather have him get up than me. I can miss work. I mean, I'm not on the air until 3 o'clock. If I'm a little late, it's okay. If I'm paying thousands of dollars, I want him in that classroom.
Dwelling on yesterday's problems or mistakes. Yeah, that's not good. The first thing you do when you wake up is saying, oh, boy, I really effed up yesterday. This is going to be another great day. It depends, I guess, on what you did.
Do you count looking at your betting app and see that you lost the late
Yes.
night game?
I think that's probably what they're talking about.
You mean I didn't win UNLV against Hawaii? Oh, man.
You lose $500, though. You can't exactly think of each new day as of the next chapter in life.
That's true.
When you're betting that amount of money. But dwelling on stuff that make your days blend together into a big stress ball experience never ends. Here's one. Starting your day. Again, these are morning habits that can make you miserable. Starting your day with complaints.
Well, usually that begins with a text thread with you and Rob Kendall. Like, I'll get a message from you and Rob and like, oh, let's see what's going on now.
Oh, God, this headache I have. Complaining about medical ailments. I mean, was that count as starting your day with a complaint?
If I wake up with frozen shoulder, yeah, I'm going to complain about it. That was awful.
What is frozen shoulder again?
Just like your shoulder just kind of like locks in. It almost acts like it's separated. You can't do anything. You can't lift your arm. You can't move it. It's just dangling there.
Morning habits that make you miserable, not taking time to be grateful. That's something I try to do. I try to, if I'm awake and it's not quite time for me to get out of bed yet, I'll try to say, little prayer. Please be with the family. Please be with the kids.
Good.
Please be with, give me wisdom. And thank you for this. Thank you for that. Thank you that, my heart is beating, that kind of thing. That is something that I do definitely try to do on a regular basis when I wake up.
Now, does it count if you word it in a way of, dear God, please give me the strength to deal with the idiots that I'm about to encounter through the next 20 hours of my life. Please give me the strength not to kill anybody or want to hit someone with a shovel. In God's name we pray, amen.
I mean, I would certainly think there's nothing wrong with starting your day with a prayer. This specific habit that can make you miserable, though, not taking time to be grateful, that didn't sound like anything what I was talking about.
Okay.
Please, dear Lord, give me the strength not to hit my coworker over the head with a shovel. Probably that would make you miserable. Okay, and then rushing through your morning without fuel. Breakfast, most important meal of the day.
Man,
I can't get down with it. I used to. It was 3 squares a day for me when I was a kid. Cereal for breakfast. Whatever it was at the school lunch, and then your mom would cook when I got home.
So I'm on this calorie count, right? That's my weight loss program. And I've never been a big breakfast guy. I'd rather wait till lunch. Today, for whatever reason, though, I rolled out of bed. I was starving.
Ooh, what'd you
I was
get?
starving Marvin.
Did you go somewhere?
Nope, just stuff at home, man. Like, because I make breakfast for Jacob before he goes to school.
Okay.
So I just made it for myself today. We had these like little just cracking egg things where you put eggs into it and you microwave it. It's good. I had one of those, 2 little sausage biscuits, and a bowl of cereal. Jeez. I never have that much for breakfast, if at all. So I skipped lunch today, and I'll have a little something for dinner later. But yeah, I'd rather have breakfast food later in the night when I'm drunk.
I hear you.
Does that make sense? We used to do that at the casino, man, like on New Year's Eve.
Oh, man, the buffet?
The
At like
buffet after
12
midnight, the drunks would line up around the corner, baby. Get those scrambled eggs and pancakes. It was awesome. All right, do not go anywhere. When we come back, the list of people who screwed you on your property taxes.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and 1 unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year and save over $1,000 in your first year versus other major carriers. Plus, ask how to get iPhone 16e on us. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment tax and fees extra. After promo, regular rate supply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus 1 unlimited welcome line and AT&T Internet 300 plus 1 unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet required. Actual savings vary.
Hey guys, let's talk about feeling your best. If you don't feel that same energy, strength, you're moody, or it seems you've lost your drive with your partner, it could be low T. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer, and you'll find true experts at Low T Center. Getting tested is fast and easy. They're not all the same. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Learn about personalized therapy at a Low T Center near you. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Community Health Network cares for your heart health. From heart scans and vascular screenings to complex heart procedures, you can count on our expert team for the highest quality cardiovascular care, when and where you need it. Your path to a healthy heart starts with knowing your risk. Schedule a heart scan or vascular screening today. Visit ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'll say this. There are no entries in the Hoops Fan Hall of Fame who didn't show up to the game. Yes, you in the back.
Professor, March Madness is coming to Indianapolis. Are we ready?
You prepared to bring the fire? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. The NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8, March 28th and 30th in Indianapolis. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MBB tickets. Class dismissed.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text money to 46220 today.
Dads happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
In almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it is a one and done. Because we don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
AdventKnows.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, there's some chances for more rain and maybe even some snow tonight, while your Attorney General says he's keeping an eye on local law enforcement. And the bird flu continues to spread in Indiana, and it's bad for business. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. Sunshine on the Monument right now, about 39 degrees. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Preparing for peace talks. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says he'll travel to Saudi Arabia on Monday for a meeting with the Crown Prince and says his delegation will stay for talks with Secretary of State Rubio and others about setting up peace talks for Ukraine. Special Mideast envoy Steve Witkoff says he's been in contact with Hamas about extending the ceasefire in Gaza, but says the ultimatum from President Trump that they release all of their hostages immediately still stands.
We're prepared to have dialogue, but if the dialogue doesn't work, then the alternative is not such a good alternative for Hamas.
The president posting on social media, if the hostages are not freed, it's over for Hamas. But one of the group's commanders says a military escalation could mean more of the hostages would die. Still pressing to trim the size of the federal government, President Trump reassuring his cabinet today.
Politico was first to report that the president convened a cabinet meeting behind closed doors today with cabinet secretaries. Elon Musk reportedly in the room to let those secretaries know that they have the discretion to fire, not Elon Musk. He can simply make recommendations.
Fox's David Spunt, the president has eased some of the tariffs imposed on Canada and Mexico this week, pausing for a month tariffs on goods imported under the existing trade agreement. But the president says Canada and Mexico must stop fentanyl from crossing their borders. More than 2.5 weeks after he was hospitalized for double pneumonia, Pope Francis has released an audio recording played at a Vatican prayer service today in which he thanked everyone for their prayers. The Pope spoke in his native Spanish but sounded weak and out of breath. The Vatican says he has stabilized enough, though, that they will not offer a health update until Sunday. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Rain and maybe some snow tonight. Your radar is completely clear for now with temperatures in the upper 30s downtown. Tonight you'll have a low of about 34. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. More precipitation is expected tonight. Here's Ryan Hedrick.
It's not expected to amount to much, but it could make the roads slick. Alex McGinnis is a forecaster at the National Weather Service Indianapolis. He says it's part of a weakening system moving through the plains.
That's going to bring not as much as this last system, but we will have a few rain showers around, especially across the northern counties. That might start as like a real light, isolated sort of wintry mix.
And McGinnis says by next week, temperatures warm into the 70s. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Taxpayers aren't being held to the same standards as government leaders. That's what State Representative Andrew Ireland of Indianapolis says he noticed when he watched testimony on possible property tax relief Wednesday.
We've seen over the last few years on the other side where we've all had to make cuts to make up for them taxing us more. But when you want to extend that out to government, they say, no. Not only can we not make cuts, but we actually have to spend more next year.
He tells WIBC's Kendall and Casey that Hoosiers calling their legislators to make their thoughts known is making a difference in what's going on at the State House. Attorney General Todd Rokita says the Lake County Sheriff's Department will be cooperating with ICE after he warned them to. Jake McDaniel reports.
That is because state law requires them to cooperate with them. Attorney General Rokita sent 2 letters recently to the Lake County Sheriff, making it clear that a lawsuit would develop if officers continue to avoid cooperating with ICE.
With the Lake County Sheriff's Department now honoring our ICE detainers, criminal aliens will be deported rather than just simply being released back into our communities to do harm.
Rokita says he has already sued the Sheriff's Departments in Monroe and St. Joseph counties for refusing to cooperate with ICE. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Bird flu spread continues in Indiana. It's now hit nearly 24 farms. State leaders say the latest case is at a commercial duck breeder in Adams County.
The hard
part for the farmers right now is when we get a detection, the site automatically goes under quarantine. And once it's confirmed, we've got a whole process that we go through as far as handling that site.
Denise Derer-Spears from the Indiana State Board of Animal Health says the quarantine limits bird movement, tests flocks, and sets up control areas to prevent that virus from spreading. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
The traffic on the 5s at 4:05. Here's Matt Bear.
Crash clear Harrison, Boone County, northbound 65 after 267. It's gone, so is the traffic. Looking at northbound 465, northwest side, stop and go, 86th Street up to 865. Westfield, northbound 31, jam before 191st Street. Eastbound 465, stop and go after Westfield Boulevard to the White River. Inbound 69, slow 96 to 82nd. Inbound 65, 6-minute delay, 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, 11-minute delay from Tibbs Avenue to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
This Thursday evening, we're looking at partly cloudy skies becoming mostly cloudy after midnight. Low temperatures around 32 degrees, winds out of the west-southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour, rain-free until the morning. I'm Wish TV, Storm Track 8, meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
That time of the afternoon where Jason Hammer reads the list of senators and other political dignitaries who have screwed you on property tax. Would you? Shall I just give you the floor?
Sure. Now, it's important to point out, these were the folks that just did it early on.
Yes.
There's a lot of people screwing you. A lot of people. But the folks right out of the gate.
Right. The committee.
The committee, the
Sure.
tax committee at the Indiana General Assembly, your elected officials, your lawmakers in Indiana, many of them Republican. These are the people that the minute they had the opportunity to crap on you, they did. Travis Holdman, Brian Buchanan, Chris Garten, Mike Gaskell, Tyler Johnson, Ryan Mishler, Rick Niemeyer, Linda Rogers, Kyle Walker, and the guy that I told Rob earlier today when I jumped on his show has become like the unofficial mascot of this whole property tax debacle, Scott Baldwin. Senator Scott Baldwin.
Is that what I'm looking at right now on our Facebook page?
There's a little AI, yeah.
The AI graphic of Indiana State Senator Scott Baldwin counting his money,
laughing in your face.
Yes, really disturb that whole. There's nothing. That is I'm very unsettled looking at this right now.
I'm unsettled by what he did to SB1, so I guess that makes us even, Nige.
So he is the guy that you and Rob talk about this Senator Baldwin guy a lot. I hear just because he owns a company that works with government contracts, and some would say it's beneficial for him to be against, reduction in property tax,
right?
Because that would hurt business. That's the working theory you and Rob have. I believe.
And
right?
I don't necessarily think it's a theory. I mean, you can look up the information.
Yeah.
So this is a guy that's supposed to be working on the tax committee on
Yes.
behalf of helping Hoosiers.
Yes.
But it appears that the work he does with this construction company where they build multiple things in the community that are paid for with property taxes seems like a bit of a conflict of interest.
That didn't get brought up in the initial committee hearings when the mayor of Carmel was being quizzed and grilled, did it?
No, not at all. And on top of that, it's not just that. It's not the fact that the very first second he had to rip up SB1 and give you the middle finger, when listeners of Kendall and Casey have reached out to him, and please keep reaching out to this group of people. Do not stop the emails. Do not stop the phone calls. Do not stop the Facebook, Twitter tagging. But when our listeners reached out to this clown, he was like snarky and smug about it. Well, I'd rather talk to you about it on the phone, and Rob Kendall this and Rob Kendall that. Listen, you might not like Rob Kendall. I get it. He's not everybody's cup of tea. But you can't look Rob in the eye and say that this dude isn't a little conflicted, right?
But is it? I mean, it's obviously not illegal. Is it? I mean,
well, they make the rules, so no.
I guess if you write the laws,
right?
I mean, the guy'd be behind bars if they were making deals. You know, I'm not going to vote for this property tax thing because it would affect my business. There seems like there's something wrong with that, but it seems unethical. But well, I guess what I'm saying is he's not been accused of any illegal activity.
No, it's all right in front of your face. There's nothing shady about it. There's no behind-the-scenes deals.
Yeah.
It's somehow this guy is on the tax committee, and his business dealings seem to benefit when, buildings are built with property tax coming in. So that's a problem. That's why he's become the mascot of this. It wasn't his bill. It's not, the Scott Baldwin SB1, but he's the mascot. He was part of the early group that took SB1 and just threw it out the back window and then was snarky to people about it. So Rob's absolutely right. The one thing that we can do as a radio show, as listeners, as taxpayers and voters, we can't go behind the scenes of these committee meetings. We can't debate on the floor of the Indiana General Assembly, but we can use our airwaves to fight back and talk about what these scumbags are doing and let you guys know. And if you're somebody that's interested in primarying Scott Baldwin, running a primary race against him, get your ducks in a row, because a lot of people would support you right now. We are pulling back the veil on a lot of the shady stuff that happens at the Indiana General Assembly.
And don't forget about the Kendall and Casey rally outside the State House on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, with the property taxes. I think they're doing their entire show there from 9 to noon, and then I think you're emceeing a quick rally there.
1 to 2.
1 to 2.
I'll be the MC, the host down there.
There's going to be so many people that are already partying.
St. Patrick's Day, baby.
I mean, even it's on a Monday, right?
Yes.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter what day it's on in this case, just because specifically it is St. Patrick's Day. There's going to be a S-load of people down here.
But drink a few beverages, have some liquid courage, and go in there and tell these lawmakers what you think. Let them know your money is being thrown out the window for ridiculous bull crap, and when you ask for just a little bit of it back, not all of it, just a little bit, you got people like Scott Baldwin and Sue Finkham and Carmel saying, well, we can't do that.
We can't go back to 2021 rates. We'll lose our fire departments. Well, we won't be able to. We go back to 2021 rates. Dear God, they're not going to be able to turn the lights on in the schools.
And what's gross, and we'll talk about this with Rob later on, there are people that believe that. There are people that believe that if we go back to 2021 rates, we're not talking about like 1921. We're talking about 2021, that schools will close down, that fire stations will close. We're going to start lining up people in the streets and shooting them execution style just because we reached a compromise to go back to 2021. So Do not hesitate. Send your local rep an email, a text, a phone call. And if you don't know who it is, just go into Google and type out, who is my Indiana state senator? Who is my Indiana state representative? It'll bring up a link. You type in your address, bada bing, bada boom. It'll let you know who to contact. Miss Allison, please cue up the Attorney General from the great state of Indiana.
Right.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
So a guy was looking to play a prank on his buddy at a family barbecue.
Okay.
So he went to the social media outlet Reddit to try to find some tips or some advice.
Some good ideas.
And what he did was he got his brother-in-law to pass out at a family barbecue.
Okay.
And then filled his belly up with super glue.
Belly? Like
belly button. Yeah. Put nothing but super glue into his navel, his belly button.
You made it kind of sound like he did a beer bong full of super glue.
No.
So he put okay, but that's pretty good. He super glued his belly button shut.
But he had to go to the hospital, and the bill was $2,253. And now the brother-in-law is taking that guy to small claims court to get the money back.
Of course. What would you expect him to do? Dude, you super glued my belly button shut. You're paying for this crap.
It sounds like something you'd hear on Jackass, though. And I don't think the Jackass guys ever took each other to court for things. Like when they would shave off somebody's eyebrows when they were asleep or something like that. Lock Steve-O into a portolet and then pick it up with a crane.
Turn it upside down.
What's your favorite prank? Like back in the day, did you ever, draw on a drunk buddy's face?
Usually, of course, taking a Sharpie to your passed out buddy's face and drawing a crank on his cheek.
Yeah. I think every dude has done that to a buddy at some point.
That's the standard when we're talking about people that are passed out in the middle of a giant party.
I do love, however, it's a little outdated now, but a good old-fashioned prank phone call. Like in today's day and age of caller ID and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of a lost art. But every once in a while, when you can get a good old-fashioned prank through, it's awesome.
If they're funny, they're funny.
Which brings us to great moments in Hugh Janus history.
And now, Heather and Nigel present Great Moments in Hugh Janus history.
On KTLA back in the day. Anyway, Christy and Joe Horton, 9th anniversary, and Hugh Janus turning 10. We'd mentioned...
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. It's one of those.
I totally fell for it, didn't I? Hugh Janus.
This has been Great Moments in Hugh Janus history.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Now, to be fair, that's a bit that we stole back when Mike Pence used to sit in this chair and do.
That was his original concept.
Yeah, we stole that from Mike Pence's show, Great Moments in Hugh Janus history. Matt Bear.
All right, fellas, Westfield, northbound 31's closed at State Road 32. That's because of a crash. And right now, traffic is stopped for about a mile. Stop from 191st Street back to State Road 32 in Westfield. Again, full closure there of northbound 31. Inbound 65. That is a 5-minute delay, 29th Street to Meridian Penn. Also looking at eastbound 70, 12-minute delay from Tibbs Avenue to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, you dirtbags. We need 53 of you to hit like on that WIBC YouTube stream. 53 of you, and that gets us to 100. We need 53 badass, confident, good-looking Americans, folks that are ready to have a great night and maybe get lucky. We need 53 of you. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and help us out. 42 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Might be that time in your life to start making some decisions about Social Security. And it's a difficult decision because you got to consider the fact that Social Security might be running out of money. But you also need to consider the tax hit on your benefits and your IRA and your 401k withdrawals. And finally, you should consider your spousal benefits. If you're not thinking about any of these things, you have the potential to leave a lot of money on the table. Trust me, that is something you do not want to do. That money that's going to be left on the table, that's your money.
Learn how you could get every last penny out of your Social Security benefits. It's your money. All you have to do is set up a free, customized Social Security analysis session with Bill Demery. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. Call him right now and set it up. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery will make this process easy. 317-648-5120.
Pardon all the noise, folks, but Harvey and I are here at the State Fairgrounds inside the big building, watching them get ready for the largest gun and knife show east of the Mississippi, the Indy 1500. Oh, Harvey's my 6'4" white rabbit, but nobody can see him but me, though. What's that, Harvey? Oh, Harvey wanted me to tell you there'll be the latest in guns and knives and camo and archery and camping equipment, too, at the big show. Excuse me a second, will you? Hey, Harvey, stay away from that hunting gear. It's liable to fall on you. Well, anyway, bring all your old guns and knives and sell them for cash, or get the best price direct from the manufacturers on all your hunting needs. And now, where did Harvey get off to? Harv, look out! Well, that reminds me, folks, they'll have wild game recipes for rabbit stew at the show, too.
Celebrity voice and imaginary character impersonated. The Indy 1500 Gun, Knife, and Outdoor Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the State Fairgrounds.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed, a Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Plumbing problems stink. The LD Smith Group can handle anything. Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Give it to me.
Big Nige, is this anything? There's a couple videos making their way around social media. They're Walmart Great Value brand chicken nuggets.
Okay.
Now, the reason these videos are circulating...
But they're good.
There's no chicken inside of them. just breading and nothing else. A mom in Jacksonville posted a video of her cutting through many of these. They didn't have chicken inside.
Just the breading?
Just the breading.
Okay.
And then there's another man who pulls apart a lot of these nuggets, and there's nothing inside.
Walmart, y'all dead wrong. Look at this. Y'all forgot to put the meat in the nuggets, Walmart. None of them got meat on them. Count your days, Walmart. Count your days. You supposed to be nuggets.
I love this guy. And I got to tell you, I'd be disappointed that there was no chicken in the actual nugget, but I'm still eating the breading.
Yeah.
Is that the worst, fattest take you can think of? Yeah.
Is that the fattest take you can think of?
As you're calling Walmart, you're going, yeah, there's no chicken in the nuggets, but I'm still eating the breading. Do you still get charged? Like, would Walmart still charge you if you brought back like the tray of nuggets half eaten, but there was no chicken inside, but that you had consumed the breading? Because I love chicken nugget breading.
Not if Brad Hamilton from Fast Times at Ridgemont High was working at Walmart.
No.
Because if you remember, when he was working at All American Burger, there was a guy that brought back the breakfast. And he said it wasn't the best breakfast he'd ever had, but he ate most of it. And Brad didn't want to give him the refund. Yeah. Next thing you know, push comes to shove. Sir, I'm going to kick 100% of your, the rest. But I will say this. I do love some good microwave chicken nuggets or in the air fryer. If you can put them in the air fryer.
Air fryer, yeah.
Oh, so good. I don't do many impressions. You know this.
Yes.
And this one's a visual only.
Okay.
This is a YouTube camera exclusive. This is me looking into the microwave, watching my chicken nuggets cook as I'm hammered drunk. Are you ready?
All right, ready.
And scene. Thank you. Folks on the radio were like, I have no idea what I just listened to, but the YouTube folks.
I can describe it. Your eyes were glazed over, it somewhat crossed, your mouth agape. I think I saw some drool drip out of there.
Bloodshot eyes.
Bloodshot, yeah.
Is this anything? A basketball player who was born with one arm became the first female player born with one arm to make a basket in a Division III game.
Wow.
An actual game. Here she is talking about making the bucket.
It is not very common to see somebody with one arm playing basketball. I think there's probably about 2 or 3 of us in the collegiate level. From what I believe and from other people have told me, I am the first Division III women's collegiate basketball player to make a basket in a game. The first time when I shot the ball and it went in, it was an immediate feeling of relief because I was very happy that the shot went in.
I think I would only consider this something if a trans man on the other team blocked the shot.
Can you imagine? And there'd be 50 Democrats going, hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about right there. You send that crap back where it came from.
Oh, you just got served. Poor one-armed woman. Worked all her life to get to college basketball. She finally gets a shot. It's about ready to go in, and a trans man with a
6'7", built like a brick house,
just junk flipping and flopping. Get that out of there.
Start celebrating. Maybe there's a DX crotch chop involved. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
When you're running a small business, every dollar counts. And there's lots of ways you could try saving money, like, say, subletting half your office to an exotic pet shop, or downsizing your fleet of catering trucks to a fleet of catering scooters. Or you could try a smarter way to save. Switch to Comcast Business Mobile. It could save you up to 70% on business wireless compared to AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, and save you the hassle of having a parrot as your desk mate. So don't compromise your business to save money. Keep it growing with Comcast Business Mobile, an incredible value and smarter way to save. Comcast Business Mobile, powering smarter savings, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Compares weighted average of providers based on optimized pricing. Comcast Business Internet required. Reduced speeds after data usage included with plan. Savings may vary.
Discover cancer care that empowers you.
at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, with leading-edge treatment options right in your backyard.
I feel blessed and lucky. If I knew someone that was going through what I was going through, I would definitely encourage them to participate in a clinical trial. For me, it was life-changing.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Hey guys, let's talk about feeling your best. If you don't feel that same energy, strength, you're moody, or it seems you've lost your drive with your partner, it could be low T. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer, and you'll find true experts at Low T Center. Getting tested is fast and easy. They're not all the same. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Learn about personalized therapy at a Low T Center near you. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A warning from the Attorney General. 40 degrees, partly cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. There's nothing to worry about on your radar, and tonight's low is down to about 34. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. Attorney General Todd Rokita sent a couple of letters to the Lake County Sheriff's Department warning them that a lawsuit would develop if officers did not cooperate with ICE. Rokita says they're required to by state law.
We do reserve our right at all times to enforce state law, even when it comes to the county sheriff.
According to Rokita, he's going to continue to monitor what local agencies are up to and take legal action when necessary. A number of Trump administration officials have spoken at a special State Department meeting of hostage families in the U.S. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
Before attending a special flag-raising ceremony at the State Department, several hostage families heard from key players inside the Trump White House. The new FBI Director Kash Patel referenced Austin Tice, missing in Syria for 12 years, and Bob Levinson, missing in Iran for 18 years.
We will do everything. This is a top priority. And for me, there's no one agency that gets this done. It is an interagency process.
The ceremony came a day after President Trump met with Israeli-American and Israeli hostages who've been held by Hamas, after which he posted he'd given Israel all it needed to finish Hamas. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Bird flu continues to spread across the state, now hitting nearly 24 farms. State leaders said latest case is at a commercial duck breeder in Adams County.
The hard part for the farmers right now is when we get a detection, the site automatically goes under quarantine. And once it's confirmed, we've got a whole process that we go through as far as handling that site.
Denise Devers Spears with the Indiana State Board of Animal Health says the quarantine limits bird movement, tests flocks, and sets up control areas to prevent the virus from spreading. And a little snow is possible tonight. Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service says it's part of a weakening system that's moving through the plains.
That's going to bring not as much as this last system, but we will have a few rain showers around, especially across the northern counties going into Friday, even Friday night. That might start as like a real light, isolated sort of wintry mix.
McGinnis says good news if you want some warmer weather. Temperatures are supposed to hit the 70s by next week. The market back in the red today. The Dow dropping by 427 points to close at 42,579. The Nasdaq in the red by 43 to 18,069. The S&P 500 down 104 points to 5,738. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
Well, sure. Of course, we're all excited that spring is almost here in central Indy. But this month, when the weather still can't make up its mind and it's going back and forth between warm and cold, Hoosiers get a very specific type of roadway March Madness. It's called potholes. And they're a pain, but you know what? It's one of the reasons why I'm a AAA member. Peace of mind for the roadside assistance. I've had flat tires on the side of the road because of potholes. AAA has been there for me every time.
And if you're having tire issues, AAA's got you covered with their mobile tire service, My Pit Crew. They bring the tire shop to you. I've used this service before, and now that I got my 2 boys driving, this service protects the whole family. So if you don't have a spare, My Pit Crew from AAA, these guys are the best. MyPitCrew.com. You pick out the tires and schedule the install. Join AAA today. AAA members get a discount on My Pit Crew. You can get a AAA membership by calling 844-GO-AAA-GO or stop by any AAA office. AAA.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
The traffic at 434. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Harrison up in Westfield, northbound 31, full closure at 191st Street, and traffic is being pushed at 191st Street right now as we take a look at this delay stretching back to 161st. It is just no love again. Northbound 31 closed at 191st Street because of a crash. And then we see eastbound 465 is stop and go. Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69, slow roll 96th Street, 282nd. Inbound 65 moving at a 9-minute delay. MLK down to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 delayed by 13 minutes. Tibbs to the south. Split south side. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic after Harding. Over to I-65 a little bit after that. A crash north side. 79th east of Payne at Camberwood. Also a crash in Canby. This is Raceway Road at Heartland Boulevard. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road at North Shadeland or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
This Thursday evening, we're looking at partly cloudy skies becoming mostly cloudy after midnight. Low temperatures around 32 degrees. Winds out of the west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Rain-free until the morning. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Wait a minute, Hammer. What is this? Some Republican congressional committee are telling lawmakers, they're like, hey, look, maybe we shouldn't hold in-person town halls anymore. And they're talking about more efficient ways to reach constituents. So Mike Johnson recommending that members communicate through telephone town halls? What is this, COVID?
Too many ridiculous protesters, organized protesters, show up to every town hall and hijack it, and nothing ever gets accomplished.
So they're suggesting telephone town halls and small groups rather than whatever, open forums, which are attended by, as you put it, professional protesters.
Yeah, this is a bad idea. I'm sorry. This is a bad idea. Show up. Make these people show up. If they want to protest, let them protest. If they want to make asses of themselves, go ahead. But I'm willing to bet there's some folks in that crowd, the folks that would go to a Republican town hall, that don't mind a little conflict if things get squirrely. Like, what do you think is going to happen when you go to, let's say a representative is doing a town hall somewhere in Texas, and you try to go there and pull your anti-America, pro-Hamas terrorist crap? How do you think that's going to play out for you? This ain't a college campus, kid. You know, a college campus is where you're around your buddies and some of your teachers that allow this crap to happen. Maybe they say, all right, fine. But you get out in the real world, people like me, people like many of you, they're not going to put up with that crap. A lot of people may be armed. You're not going to threaten them. You're not going to scare them. So, you know what? Go ahead.
So there's going to be a way to deal with the, quote, professional protesters and agitators. But I think advising, the Republican Congressional Committee advising lawmakers to hold telephone town halls is a little cheesy and rinky-dink. I mean,
that's what Republicans used to be, right?
Exactly. Come on, man.
That's like a Bush-era move right there. We're scared of conflict. We're going to have town halls by the phone. No, screw that. Screw that. Show up.
And it's those vocal minorities that show up at these places. Organized. Not only at the town halls, but at the State House and other things like that. That make these giant signs and scream and yell at the politicians as they're walking down the hallway when it's really they're the vocal minority.
They're traveling carnies.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't even from the place where they're protesting. They just go where the protest is, whether it's Louisville, whether it's Cincinnati, whether it's Indianapolis.
Is there a paycheck involved and a stipend for, a trip to McDonald's real quick in between protests?
Right.
Yeah.
Look at the clown that Governor Holcomb met with at the governor's mansion, Malik Mohammed. He was supposed to be leading this movement in Indiana, and he got a meeting with the governor. He was also a professional that made his way across the country and ended up being charged with trying to murder a police officer in Oregon.
He's currently incarcerated for a very long time.
Yes, and he got a one-on-one with the governor.
At the mansion. I just want to go see. I want to go. You know what? Mike Braun doesn't even need to be there. Like one of Braun's.
He probably should be there.
Well, I was just saying maybe one of Mike Braun's assistants could take us through. And I just want to see what the beer fridges look like.
Okay.
I just want to see what's in Braun's beer fridge.
Maybe we can put a bottle of Hammer and Nigel tequila there.
Oh, yeah.
Drop it off and say, hey, next time you're making margs, next time you're having shots around here, you think of us, all right?
Next time you're having shots around the governor's mansion, break out a bottle of the Hammer and Nigel hiatus tequila. I love it.
Where are we at with this here? China is trying to swoop in and hire some of the folks that Elon Musk and Doge have cut. So if you're somebody that lost your job in the U.S. government, whatever the case may be, China now wants to offer you a gig in hopes that maybe you'll tell them a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I'd throw the word traitor around lightly.
Treasonous.
I think there's got to be laws against that, right? I mean, I'm sure once Elon Musk fires you and gives you your severance package and your 8 months, there's some probably a lot of other legalese that you're signing in terms of what you can and can't say, who you can and can't work for. Am I allowed to go work for a Chinese company?
What's your non-compete look like?
I guess so. I mean, I'm sure if there's a Chinese company operating in the United States, you can go work for them, yeah.
But the Chinese government...
Well, the government, that's okay. That's a good point, and that's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, I don't know that you can go work for the Chinese government.
No. And the Chinese government are putting up these companies to try to bring you in so you talk. But here's the thing. Take that whole legal aspect aside. You know how many dumb people we've got working in the government right now? I mean, just take a look at like Jasmine Crockett. Look at some of these people that are just absolute morons, right? Imagine not being smart enough to work in the U.S. government. I don't think China wants those people.
No.
If you've lost your job working for the U.S. government, you must be the bottom of the barrel. Like, who's that one broad in the crowd of Trump's speech? It's a Democrat, but she's got like blue hair. She looks like Mo from the Three Stooges. Like if Perry Farrell and Mo had a kid, like Jane's Addiction, Perry Farrell and Mo had a kid, that's who this woman would look like. She's qualified to work in the government.
Rosa DeLauro.
She's qualified to be there.
Connecticut.
But if you lost your job working in the government, then man, maybe Rallies is a better stop for you. Maybe
damn good fries.
Oh, great fries. According to a new survey, 53% of Americans want public bathroom stalls to have 0 gaps. Now, what I mean by that is
sign me up.
The door goes all the way down, and you can't like see anybody when you sit down. Like if you've ever had to make that really awkward eye contact with somebody through a public bathroom stall, it's the worst.
Between the door and the door jamb or whatever.
Yes.
Like you could kind of see through it just a little bit. You could see the person's eye just to see if they're checking in.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Walls all the way down to the bottom. And I would, like a door handle.
Yes.
Like, because that would prevent the gap.
Let's start with the door, because there are some places that you go to, there's not even a door. You're sitting there taking just an open deuce, making eye contact with somebody. You're just looking at them. But 53% say they want it sealed up. But my question is, who are the 47% that like the weird eye contact? Who are those weirdos?
The guys that I sat next to at IUPUI's bathroom and Circle Center's bathroom. Boy, I had two separate incidents in my late teens, early 20s. I was working at Abercrombie and Fitch and had to go use the public bathroom. Some guy sat right down in the stall next to me, and I could tell exactly what he was doing. Just by the shadow. I won't get into it. I won't get graphic. But the guy was treating his body like an amusement park, and the same thing happened to me on a campus of IUPUI.
No.
Empty bathroom, multiple stalls open.
Went right next to you.
Right next to my stall, and I could see the shadow back and forth. I was actually terrified.
Were you laughing?
No, I was scared to death. I pulled my pants up, and I don't even think I wiped.
Oh, no.
It scared the crap out of me. Sorry. You have some strange man. And then they want to put, and now this is a day and age where politicians want men and women to share the bathrooms together. I could barely share a bathroom with another man and not be terrified for what they were doing next to the stall next to me. There are bathrooms at the Denver airport, right as soon as you get off the plane, that are men and women can both use, and they're not. It's not unisex single individual bathrooms.
It's a free for all.
It's a free for all. Now, there are other bathrooms in that airport. My wife travels in and out of there quite frequently. But, yeah, as soon as you have the bathroom, people have to go to the bathroom. And it's a free-for-all. You can just walk in, men and women, and they're not the individual private style, family style bathrooms. It's like you could be sitting next to a dude, you could be sitting next to a chick.
So let's go back to your incident where...
Well, I didn't perform the incident. I was the victim.
No, but I can tell you were really bothered by this.
Well, yes.
And my question is, why were you so scared? The dude's at his most vulnerable. What's he going to do? Run out of there, stop doing what he's doing with his pants around his waist and chase you like a penguin?
I don't know that he thought he was at his most vulnerable. I think he was at his most powerful. Like anybody has the...
He was yelling out, aha!
Anybody that has the maybe a bad word to use here, testicular fortitude, to sit down next to another man at a bathroom stall on a college campus and start doing that.
Was he slapping the glass like a hockey game? Hey, you hear what's going on over here, buddy?
I'm telling you, I can see the shadow of the motion. And I know what that motion looks like. All right? So that's what scared me. Sorry.
Of all the things downtown that could have spooked a young, impressionable Nige about 150 pounds ago, it wasn't, the fecal matter or the drugs or the violence. It was the dude that was going right next to you, flogging the dolphin.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
all right.
A true story.
I feel like this has been a therapy session.
2 times over, a true story.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Well, before Galaxy Concrete Coatings came to my house to redo my garage floor, you have to understand my garage floor was in trouble. It was a disaster. It was cracked, old, at least 40 years of being unmaintained and not taken care of. And now my new Galaxy Concrete garage floor coating is out of this world. It only took them a day, and they did not use epoxy. That's the old standard. This is better what they use. They use polyurea. It's the new premium standard for coatings. So they could do garage basements, pool decks, any indoor-outdoor area concrete. In fact, I got Galaxy coming back out to my house to do the furnace room in my basement. In that concrete area there. You can check out their website, see the pictures, get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com or 751-9070. Tell them Nigel sent you.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. A lot of folks give up on their bodies in their 40s or 50s. Statistically, we gain 1.5 pounds every year past 50, and it's usually a tough slog to fight that. 19 years ago, I took a friend's recommendation, and I went to Exercise Inc. for one of their free consultations. Me? I didn't want to get heavy. I wanted to stay trim and in shape, and that was really a struggle. 19 years ago I went, and 19 years later I'm still going every week. They've helped me to reach and maintain my health and fitness goals, and they do that with specific strength training in only 20 minutes a week. You've just got to try this health and exercise approach, and the consultation is free. My guess is that, like me, you'll be skeptical for the first couple of weeks, and then it happens. You'll feel better. You'll probably lose some weight, and you'll probably look better, too. Go to Exercise Inc. today and sign up for a free consultation. Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, and Greenwood, now in Fishers, too. ExerciseInc.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ROCKY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text ROCKY to 42424. That's ROCKY to 42424.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Steve Martin and Martin Short. Saturday, October 25th at Old National Center.
More info online at WIBC.com.
Real quick to piggyback on a conversation we just had about Nigel having a interesting bathroom experience when he was a younger man working downtown.
Yeah.
Libertarian Dragon on the YouTube chat has dubbed that individual the Shadow Stroker. The Shadow Stroker.
I was sitting next to, apparently, in the stall next to me was the Shadow Stroker. Yes.
Matt Bear, were you the Shadow Stroker?
Northbound 31. Looking at a crash. Westfield 31 screwed right now. Northbound 31 completely closed at 191st Street. That's because of a crash. And right now, traffic is being pushed onto 191st Street. Even the diversion's slow right now. You are going to need to find a reroute, or you will be stuck in a 60-minute delay that stretches from 191st Street all the way back through Carmel onto Keystone Parkway. Yeah, it's backed up on the Parkway back to 136th Street almost. So again, northbound 31 closed at 191st Street because of a crash causing all sorts of problems in Hamilton County right now. Eastbound 465, stop and go. Keystone Avenue to I-69. Inbound 65, 8-minute delay from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, that is a delay of 15 minutes from Tibbs Avenue to the South Split. And South Side, eastbound 465, loaded from I-69 to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road or North Shadeland. Online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Looking at the forecast for next week, I know it's early, but how about this? Monday, 65 and sunny.
Yeah, come on.
Tuesday, partly sunny and 70.
Work it.
Wednesday, partly sunny and 69, baby.
Stroke it, baby.
42 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center here at 93 WIBC. Coming up here in just a few minutes, the wall was a big part of the Trump presidency the first time around. Gonna build a wall.
Southern border wall? Is that what we're talking about?
The wall is back. Update on the border wall.
Wow.
We'll get into that. Plus, some lunatic threatening Pat McAfee's family. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. New betting podcast is out. The Degenerates Next Door. Myself, Rob Kendall. We have a few professional handicappers that join us on that program.
Right on.
The new one is out right now, anywhere you get your podcast. And we're talking more in depth about YouTube trying to censor sports betting content. Again, this whole thing is weird to me because the only two things that YouTube has had a problem with the last 5 years, vaccine videos and sports gambling. ISIS beheadings, Klan rallies, people lighting their crotches on fire, all of that you can find right now if you go to YouTube and do a search. But they really want to be Johnny Tough Guy when it comes to sports betting and a number of years ago, the vaccine debate. So check that out wherever you get your podcasts. All right, we've got another hour coming up here. Rob Kendall's going to go off the rails at 5:30. Top stories coming up next.
You're finally in a position to start planning for your retirement, but you have no clue what to do. I understand. I've been there. Let the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth help you with that anxiety with a financial portfolio that's built just for you. Matt Bear here. Hey, call and meet the Trajan team at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Your first consultation is free. Trajan Wealth is a fiduciary, meaning they have to act in your best interest. They will work with you as a team in optimizing your investments. What's really nice is Trajan Wealth is independent, meaning they aren't locked into one product. They can truly customize a portfolio to your hopes and dreams. Call the financial experts at Trajan Wealth, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first consultation is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I will never forget the day we found out my brother needed a heart transplant. Sure, you hear about people needing an organ sometimes, but it doesn't feel real until you're the one waiting. I tell you, we're just thankful. God answered our prayers. But my brother wouldn't be alive today without that transplant. That's why I signed up to be an organ donor at the BMV, because I want to be the answer to someone else's prayers.
Sign up to be an organ donor. Say yes the next time you're at the BMV.
Life-changing discovery should never be left to chance. IU Indianapolis is Indiana's premier urban research university, home to 50 research centers and institutes, which means our students don't just study groundbreaking research, they make their very own breakthroughs from day one. We're here to make the future happen. Bring on tomorrow. IU Indianapolis. Discover what's next at go.iu.edu/breakthrough.
Coming up in 2 minutes, temperatures have been in the 30s the last couple of days, but it is going to warm up eventually. John Herrick reports on some meth found in Cheetos bags in Indiana. I'm not kidding about that one. The bird flu continues to spread to another farm. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
The ultimatum stands. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. President Trump's message to Hamas to release the remaining hostages, or they're done. The president says he issued that warning after meeting yesterday with 9 former hostages.
And I can't believe how badly treated they were, really badly treated. Stories that you wouldn't even believe. Some of it was documented. Some of it was so bad you couldn't really, I don't think you can put it on.
The president says he is sending Israel what it needs to, as he put it, finish the job. A Hamas commander says a military escalation could mean more hostages die. The president's special Mideast envoy, Steve Witkoff, says he and Secretary of State Rubio will meet with a delegation from Ukraine next week in Saudi Arabia.
The idea is to get down a framework for a peace agreement and an initial ceasefire as well.
Ukraine's President Zelensky says he will travel to Riyadh on Monday. President Trump temporarily pausing some of the tariffs he imposed this week.
Companies importing goods from Canada and Mexico will get a 1-month reprieve from tariffs imposed earlier this week by President Trump.
During this interim period between now and April 2nd, this makes it much more favorable for our American car manufacturers.
President Trump says his tariff policy will generate revenue for the U.S. and shift manufacturing back to the country.
Fox's Jared Halpern, the president, says there'll be no change in his reciprocal tariff policy set to take effect next month. Texas House Democrat Al Green has been censured by the House of Representatives for disrupting the president's speech to Congress on Tuesday night. 10 Democrats joined Republicans in voting for the censure. Speaker Johnson telling Fox it was a sad day.
It was a deliberate action. It needed to be met with swift punishment. That's the tradition of this place, to maintain decorum.
Prior to the vote, Congressman Green said he'd do it again. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
When it should get warmer, 40 degrees and partly cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. You've got a clear radar at a low of 34 tonight with some chances for rain. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Temperatures have been in the 30s with rain and snow at times this week, but Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says it's all going to change eventually.
Sunday will be in the 50s. Monday, we're thinking 60s. Tuesday, we could have a lot of the area getting up to 70 degrees.
McGinnis says once again a winter remix is possible tonight, but temperatures will continue to rise, and any snowfall, if it does show up late, won't stick around. Meth found in Cheetos bags, crash and arrests. John Herrick reports on how all of that happened in southern Indiana.
On Wednesday, police say they were notified about 2 suspicious packages at a delivery facility, so they went there and found that 40 pounds of meth were inside Cheetos bags. They stayed at that facility for surveillance, and they say they saw a white van drive up and 2 people pick the bags up. Other officers tried to stop them and pull them over, but they refused and hit one of the cops' cars. Shortly after that, they were both arrested. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Taxpayers aren't being held to the same standards as government leaders. That's what State Representative Andrew Ireland of Indianapolis says he noticed when he watched testimony on possible property tax relief yesterday.
We've seen over the last few years on the other side where we've all had to make cuts to make up for them taxing us more. But when you want to extend that out to government, they say, no. Not only can we not make cuts, but we actually have to spend more next year.
He tells WIBC's Kendall and Casey that Hoosiers calling their legislators to make their thoughts on property taxes known is actually making a difference. Almost 7 million birds have now died from the bird flu in Indiana this year. Now a commercial duck breeder in Adams County is the latest to be impacted. Denise Terrere-Spears says this is the 4th year Indiana's been dealing with this particular strain.
In 2022, we had 16 sites that were directly affected by it. Then you go to the next year in 2023, we only had 1. And then 2024, we only had 2. And then so this year, we're already above 20.
And that duck breeder in Adams County is the 22nd farm in the state to be hit by the flu this year. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back?
Traffic on the 5s at 5:05. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, here we go. Eastbound 70 approaching Mount Comfort Road. It's a crash causing stop-and-go traffic past German Church Road. Not quite the post, but it's a significant delay. Northbound 31 in Westfield completely shut down right now because of a crash at 191st Street. And that's where traffic's being pushed right now, pushed off at 191st. And we are stopped all the way back through Carmel onto Keystone Parkway, northbound Parkway. Stop-and-go traffic 136th Street up to 31 146th Street in that area. But again, Westfield northbound 31 closed at 191st Street. Looking at the northwest side, northbound 465 stop and go 79th to 865. Inbound 65, 11-minute delay, MLK down to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 on a 16-minute delay from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split and South Side, 19 minutes extra on eastbound 465 from Bluff Road to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Get matched and sleep at night during Mattress Firm's Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Take 120 nights to love your new bed or your money back. Restrictions apply. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
This Thursday evening, we're looking at partly cloudy skies becoming mostly cloudy after midnight. Low temperatures around 32 degrees. Winds out of the west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Rain-free until the morning. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's...
Nigel, Jason Hammer right over there. Been quite a week, man. Donald Trump, the speech, joint session of Congress, just a positive, uplifting kind of speech, talking about the ascension of the United States. America is back. I feel like we're not getting pushed around anymore. We're not being made fools of anymore by a doddering, old, dementia-riddled guy like Joe Biden, who had no leadership qualities whatsoever.
Remember when Donald Trump had to use like two hands on a slippery slope during his first presidency, and everybody was giving him crap for it?
Oh, the ramp.
Right?
The ramp he was going up.
And then for the next 4 years, you have an old goat that falls constantly, and they didn't say a word about it.
No, not a word. And by the way, the reason Joe Biden had trouble speaking was his stutter. That's why. And it wasn't anything to do with any cognitive issues, which are now proven to be correct, proven to be the case with the former president.
Old stutter, not an old dumbass. Got it.
And so one of the other reasons I'm saying that now is because it's like Trump. I love this last warning to Hamas to release all the remaining hostages in Gaza, and then also returning the bodies of those that were killed. And this is the first time. This is kind of a departure. Well, not kind of, it is a departure from past policy. The White House is now directly engaging Hamas in terms of negotiations. And it's Donald Trump saying, hey, look, this is my speculation. I bet he knows, the military knows exactly where everybody's at and where all those bastards are hiding now. They've got all their ducks in a row. And look, if you don't deliver, you're going to have hell to pay. You're going to have hell to pay anyway.
Right. And he just spoke to some of the hostages that had been released.
Oh, God, just the awfulness of the past, 2 years, maybe a year and a half that they've gone through.
So they probably told him the way they were treated, what was going on. And you know how Trump is. He doesn't like that stuff. So he probably got a little fired up, got his Irish going just a little bit, and said, all right, we're going to go back to the first time around when Trump was the president, where he would threaten people on Twitter all the time. Tiny little rocket man, my button's bigger. Like, that's the kind of stuff that he did in his first trip around as the president. Now, he's been pretty laid back. It's only been a month, but he's been pretty laid back in terms of social media stuff by his standards. But now, I think hearing what those released hostages had to say, and I think he's tired of dealing with Hamas. So it's out there now. We'll see what happens. Previously, he just said, if you don't cooperate, I'm going to turn the Gaza Strip into like a hotel. It's going to be like, what do they call it? The
Trump Tower.
The Pearl
Trump
of the Mideast or something like that. The Riviera of the Middle East.
Yeah, that's it.
And now, I think he's running out of patience. So it seems like Egypt and Qatar may be involved in trying to come up with some sort of meeting where they would moderate it. But Trump is running out of patience. Now, speaking of Donald Trump, the border wall, it's back.
The wall is back.
Now, Mexico's not paying for it, but it is making a comeback. This was like a big part of his first presidency. Didn't really campaign too much on the wall the second time around. There were bigger fish to fry, it felt like. But the border wall construction back underway in the Texas Rio Grande Valley today. U.S. Border Patrol Chief Michael Banks announced on social media that the Trump administration has ordered the restart of the canceled border wall project, the Biden canceled project, along the Texas border with Mexico. Now, yesterday, Vice President J.D. Vance and Intel Director Tulsi Gabbard, they made their way down to Mexico-Texas border. Here is Tulsi Gabbard talking about why it's important.
As Director of National Intelligence, there are a number of areas where we are focused. The President talked about in his speech, over 21 million people have come across our borders illegally under Joe Biden's administration. There are many of them that we don't know who they are. They have not been vetted. We don't know where they are. I'll give you one quick example of one of the problems that we are getting after. From Central Asia, there were over 4,000 people who came across our borders using an ISIS-affiliated network. Our National Counterterrorism Center went through and identified those individuals. There were hundreds of them who were either known terrorists or associated with known terrorists. That information was provided to the Biden administration. You may remember in some of the news, a little over 100 of those people were arrested in 2024. Of those who were arrested, Only 8 were either deported or remained in custody. Only 8. The rest of them were released back into our country.
Only 8 of the over 100 terrorists on terror watch lists that were, apprehended by law enforcement, only 8 were taken into custody. Everybody else was released.
And that's what we need the wall for. I mean, I feel like the illegal encounters have plunged. The numbers are much better when we're talking about gotaways, something Tulsi mentioned there. But I think we need to do everything in our power on the southern border to keep those people that we don't know. They're not, she's right, they're not vetted. They're called gotaways. There's a reason why they didn't want to use that stupid asylum app that Joe Biden invented.
Which everybody was approved on.
Everybody, yeah. Come on in, and then 5 years later, we'll see what we can do for you.
We'll have a court appearance, and they wink at you.
Right. But the numbers are much better. Nothing wrong, though, with a little extra security.
So, update to a story we talked about, I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but Pat McAfee. He's got his own show. It's on ESPN. He's grown his own brand, which is awesome. He's made his home here in Indy. His show was on YouTube, and then ESPN bought it, so it streams on both now. He's also part of the WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. He's one of the announcers.
Oh, yeah, he got in trouble because they were in Canada, right?
Well, he didn't get in trouble. He ripped Canada for booing the American national anthem.
Yeah, that's it.
And then guys like Keith Olbermann wanted ESPN to fire him because he said it. But anyway, McAfee talked about this on the show. Well, last night, he posted a screenshot of a direct message that he got. Somebody still very ticked off that he ripped on Canada, called them stupid for booing the national anthem. And this is crossing a line here. Some dude, B.A. Charles, on social media, posts a screenshot of a chat he has with McAfee, and he says, "You're effing pathetic, punter, bleepless, anytime, anywhere, you wussy," or something that rhymes with it. "Name it, I'll be there, which," or something that rhymes with it. But this is where it gets bad. This lunatic posts a photo of Pat and his lovely daughter, his young daughter. Quote, "I hope that little brat effing dies." Yeah. Now, to his credit, you know how McAfee is.
Yeah.
He posted this out there. I'm not like I'm leaking something here. He put this on his social media and just wrote, "Good morning, beautiful people. Standard Wednesday over here. Just some rando wishing death upon me and my daughter. Hope you guys have a great day."
And I can guarantee, I don't know what that's like, but I mean, I guarantee he has security, he has money, he has people that are protecting him, and that still would unnerve me to beyond capacity to which I could operate if I got something like that.
And if you're competitive,
I mean?
and I think Pat
he is so
you want to find him. You want to find him and eliminate the threat.
Not me. I'm like, no, thank you. But I hope they find whoever this guy is and immediately place behind bars.
I tried to find that social media accounts because Pat put him out there on blast.
Probably deleted.
It's gone now. Of course it is. All right, Matt Bear, what's going on?
Up in Westfield right now, a crash and closure on northbound 31 has wrecked traffic in the area. It's northbound 31 at 191st Street. All lanes shut down because of a crash. Traffic being pushed to 191st Street, and even that's taking forever. Right now, traffic is backed up past 146th Street onto Keystone Parkway in Carmel. Stopped on northbound Parkway from 136th Street until you peel off to 146 or US 31. Again, the delay is awful. Crash and closure, northbound 31 at 191st Street. Going from Indy to Hancock County, I would use Washington US 40 instead. There's a crash eastbound 70 before Mount Comfort Road, and it has the left lane blocked. Traffic is stopped all the way, almost to Post Road. It's an awful delay. I'm showing 84 minutes right now. Definitely get on Washington or 40 instead. Inbound 65, looking at 9-minute delay. MLK to Meridian Penn, eastbound 70, 12-minute delay from Tibbs to the South Split. Traffic sponsored by the Tile Shop. Pros get more at the Tile Shop. More selection like new wood and vinyl flooring options for every budget. More perks and more service like free curbside pickup. Start getting more at the Tile Shop. Visit your local showroom today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up just about 15 minutes from now, Rob Kendall. He's going to flip out, name names, go off the rails, talk talking the property tax and a little bit more. That's coming up at 5:33. Are you okay with this? That is coming up next. Right now it's sunshine, 42 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
When is the right time to file for Social Security? Now, that could be a difficult decision today because you got to remember that Social Security is possibly running out of money. And you also need to think about the tax hit on your benefits. You need to think about your IRA and 401k withdrawals. And you got to think about your spousal benefits. So if you haven't been thinking about all these things when signing up or filing for Social Security, you could be leaving a lot of money on the table.
When you're talking about finances and Social Security, it can be pretty confusing. But Bill Demery, your retirement guy, he breaks it down in a way that you can understand. I know this because he did it for me. I'm a customer, and you can get your free, customized Social Security analysis just by setting up an appointment. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Call Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Neighbors you know are talking about Galaxy concrete coatings and their transformation, like Rosemary.
I heard about Galaxy through social media as well as on the radio. I wanted to have Galaxy come out and redo my back patio. It runs the full length of the back of the house.
Galaxy concrete coatings is not epoxy. It's 4 times stronger.
Galaxy was great. They were very thorough. They were very clean, very efficient. They cleaned up after themselves. I was very impressed with the crew.
Commercial or residential, Galaxy transforms pools, patios, garage floors, driveways, and more. And also, it comes with a lifetime warranty.
The reason I chose Galaxy is because of the durability. We've got pets, and so sometimes they do have accidents. It's very easy to just hose off. My neighbors have come over, and every single one of them have said it's beautiful.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We are out of this world.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
At Busey Wealth Management, we're proud to partner with individuals, families, and foundations, ensuring possibilities become achievements. From preserving and enhancing your assets to securing your legacy for future generations, we're focused on your success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth. Since 1868, member FDIC.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammer, the Idaho Senate has passed a bill they passed a bill making death by firing squad the primary method of execution. They say it's more effective and humane than other methods. Are you okay with this?
No, I'm not really into the death penalty, Nige. It's not really my thing. I find it barbaric. I think horrible people should just live off the taxpayer dime for the rest of our lives. Yes, I'm all right with this. Not only am I okay with this, I'm really okay with this. This is the cost-effective way you get rid of these bad guys. If you're going to tell me that, well, lethal injection, it's tough because the cocktail mix, it's expensive, it's tough to find, the provider doesn't want to be associated with this or that. Okay, firing squad. Bullets are pretty cheap. Find some marksmen. Lock and load, baby. This should be the way it is everywhere. I am all in on this. Yes.
Speaking of firing squads, the South Carolina Supreme Court has rejected death row inmate Brad Sigmund's final appeal, allowing his firing squad execution to proceed tomorrow, Friday, March 7th. He chose to be shot to death rather than face the electric chair, saying, quote, "I didn't want to suffer being cooked alive by electricity." This is slightly different. Are you okay with the guy that's on death row getting to choose the electric chair over firing squad?
Well, he's picking firing squad. He wanted to be shot.
Yeah, he was picking firing squad. Doesn't want to do the electric chair. What do you think? You're
as
okay
long
with
as he's
that too?
dead. As long as he's dead. If he's dead tomorrow, that's a successful execution. If his options were, we're going to strap your arms and legs to two donkeys, smack them on the butt, and they're going to tear you apart, I'd be fine with that too. Like, when you hear what these guys do, right? Everybody always wants to get all moral when it comes to, well, I think that's an inhumane way to execute somebody. Nobody ever talks about the crime, the victims' families. This guy is one of the worst. Brutally murdered the family of his then love interest. So, yeah, let him pick the way he wants to die. As long as he's not breathing my oxygen by this time tomorrow, I'm going to be just fine. But I think the most cost-effective way is indeed the firing squad.
I will say I think the families of the victims should choose way of death. Besides needle, electrocution, firing squad, the thing you said about the donkeys.
Yes.
I think it'd be okay if the victims should choose. And if you do have a firing squad, I think it should be kind of like a lotto situation where a pool of people with zero firearms experience are chosen at random to execute the guy.
They might hit you in the head. They might hit you in the chest.
Crotch,
we don't know.
Crotch, it's
Ow!
going to take.
I'm not even dead, you a-hole.
It's going to take several shots for you to die, is what I'm saying. All right, should we do a little mood music here, Hammer?
Please.
Let's do that, Alan.
Let's go. Good old rock. Woo!
Are you okay with this? A couple on TikTok complained because the mountain cabin they booked was on a mountain. They were in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, the Great Smoky Mountains, Hammer, and they didn't like how slopey everything was.
Okay, we are in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We just checked into our cabin, and we are leaving our cabin, actually. We're going to go stay downtown
just
Gatlinburg.
Like that Simpsons gif, you walk in, you walk out. It's way too slopey.
We're not. Let's show you. This is the driveway. And for people that are in mountains, this might not be a big deal. For us who don't live in mountains, this is kind of a big deal, especially late at night. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. This scares me. The whole mountain that we have to drive through is very uphill.
Are you okay with these morons?
No, Nige, I'm not. So you decide to book a stay at the Smoky Mountains, good old Rocky Top, and you're shocked. You're flabbergasted to find out that mountains slope. These people are the dumbest people I've ever heard in my life, and the view exists. Let that sink in for a little bit. I would rather listen to Joy Behar talk about going on a sex strike than these people talk about being in the Smoky Mountains and it's too mountainy. These people are the worst. No, I am not okay with that.
You love the Smoky Mountains, don't you?
I'm good for a trip to Rocky Top every year, whether it's vacation, football game, whatever the case may be. I love it down there, man. That's God's country.
All right, real quick. It's not clear where this happened, but a bunch of people at a restaurant were singing to a little girl who was having a birthday party. Little girl's only 2 years old, but halfway through the happy birthday song, the 2-year-old flipped everybody off.
Oh.
Here, so you can hear the dad at the end say, "Don't do that, honey. Go ahead."
Happy birthday, happy.
She just flips everybody off. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, she's little. She probably didn't know what it meant. But this sounds like the origin story of like Beth Dutton and Yellowstone, right? Like if you watch Yellowstone, this is the origin story of young Beth. This is how it all started right there. Wow. All right. Coming up next, he's talking property taxes. He's got a property tax rally that's happening St. Patrick's Day downtown. Have some drinks, go downtown, complain to these lawmakers about why they refuse to give you any sort of relief. We're going to talk to them about it. Off the Rails with Rob Kendall coming up right after we check the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Possible you could get some light snow later. Nothing in your radar for now. Currently 41 degrees and pretty much sunny everywhere downtown. Low of 39 later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:29. A little snow is expected tonight. Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says it's all part of a weakening system that's moving through the Midwest.
That's going to bring not as much as this last system, but we will have a few rain showers around, especially across the northern counties going into Friday, even Friday night. That might start as like a real light, isolated sort of wintry mix.
McGinnis is expecting temperatures in the 70s by next week. California's Democrat Attorney General Rob Bonta is suing the Trump administration. 7 other states are also joining in the lawsuit to block the president's federal funding freeze indefinitely. Bonta says the cuts would hurt California's schools and make the teacher shortage there even worse.
President Trump can shout and scream America first all he wants, but his anti-education agenda will only ensure we come in dead last.
A federal judge in Rhode Island extended an order today to block the president's funding freeze, calling it overstepping of congressional authority. President Trump also read a letter to Congress that he got from Ukrainian President Zelensky, and it apparently read that he's ready to come to the negotiating table for peace. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce explained the importance of ending the conflict with Russia Thursday.
The secretary has called it a meat grinder. Hundreds of thousands of people dead, and the carnage not stopping. It's a stalemate that where both parties have to be brought to the table to end it.
It's been almost a week since that meeting at the White House between President Trump and Zelensky didn't go too well. The goal is to redefine regional transportation. John Herrick reports on what a bus company has planned.
GoGo Charters is adding daily service in Indianapolis and several other cities in the Midwest, with new routes set to begin this summer. That will include buses from Indianapolis to Columbus, Ohio, Columbus to Cleveland, and more. Fares are supposed to start out at $10 for charter buses, which will have reclining seats, Wi-Fi, and restrooms. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The traffic at 5:31. Here's Matt Baer.
Harrison, I haven't seen northbound 31 in Hamilton County like this in a long time. We are shut down northbound 31 at 191st Street, and that's where traffic's getting pushed right now. The delay, the backup stretches all the way back to Keystone Parkway through Carmel. 146th Street back to 136 onto the Parkway, and traffic's barely moving in parts. You want no part of this. Looking at eastbound 70 in Hancock County. Eastbound 70 crash. Clear before Mount Comfort Road. Man, it's going to take a minute. I mean, we are backed up almost from Mount Comfort Road all the way back to 465, so give it a second. You should be out of there, hopefully, before too long. Inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic, 38th Street Kessler to Meridian Penn. That's a 12-minute delay. Eastbound 70 on a 14-minute delay from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split and the South Side. Eastbound 465 stop-and-go traffic from I-69 over to Emerson Avenue, delayed 19 minutes. Traffic traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road at North Shadeland or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
This Thursday evening, we're looking at partly cloudy skies becoming mostly cloudy after midnight. Low temperatures around 32 degrees. Winds out of the west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Rain-free until the morning. I'm Wish TV, Storm Track 8, meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Also joining us live in studio, Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. Rob, how are you going off the rails?
I'm great. Thanks as always to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
Property taxes, where are we at? You are leading the charge on this. There is a big rally. We were talking about this last week, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Where are we at right now with the status of SB1?
Well, it is what I've dubbed it an IT bill, because I can't say the word I want to say. So as I can get to it is it. It's it's a dumpster fire. So yesterday, Senate Bill 1 was heard in the House Ways and Means Committee. There were like 40 plus poor singing orphans from local governments.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's always the doomsday stuff, right? Like the guy from Mooresville said the lights could go out, the jails could be in danger.
Go back to 2021 property tax levels. Mooresville is saying their school's lights will go out.
Oh, it was just hours and hours. It ended up being like 9 hours. The thing, it started at 1:30. It was still going at 10:30. I watched it till about 5:30. And I said, I get the gist here. And one thing that was encouraging yesterday is the House Ways and Means, probably because they don't run construction companies that make money off local governments that I'm aware of. They pushed back yesterday.
Now, that's a little dig at Senator Scott Baldwin.
That's correct.
Earlier in your program, we've kind of declared him the de facto mascot of this whole debacle. Why is that?
Scott Baldwin runs a company called Envoy. It's a construction management company, and Envoy has big business, a lot of business with local governments, especially in Hamilton County, where he's a senator from, and they make money off these local government projects that are funded in large part by property taxes.
So while he's giving Nigel and I, and you and I, Rob, a middle finger, he still can line his pockets because these construction projects that get money from property taxes go to his pocket. And also, he was one of the first people that got a look at SB1 and gutted it immediately. So that's why we've made him like the mascot of this.
Yeah, the guys like that were not in that committee. Guys like J.D. Prescott, who was an MVP yesterday, rock star. He was like Michael Jordan flu game level of great yesterday in the hearing. Really grilled these local government people. And the story always falls apart. Anytime there's any pushback, the story falls apart because the reality is no police are going to be fired. No firemen are going to be fired. Here, can I give you a great example of what I'm talking about here?
Sure.
And how these local governments view things. So there was this trustee was up there speaking, and he goes, we're going to lose 7 firemen if Senate Bill 1 passes. And one of the state reps goes, now, wait a second. You mean you're going to fire 7 firemen, or you're just not going to be able to hire 7 firemen?
Oh.
And he goes, oh, why? I mean, we're not going to be able to hire 7 additional firemen.
Well, hell, that's a big difference right there.
Well, of course it is. But unless there's a follow-up or a pushback, this stuff never gets challenged, and the whole day was that, and they got some pushback, and the story always falls apart. And look, you're here right now with a horrible bill. The horrible bill passed the Senate, and these guys in the House, maybe they're going to put it back together. But now it's come out. This is how convoluted this thing was. Jeff Thompson, who's the head of Ways and Means, announces yesterday, yeah, we're going to hear this Senate Bill 1 testimony, but I'm stripping this bill, and I'm putting House Bill 1402 in its place. Huh? You're doing... Yeah, right. Huh?
What the hell is House Bill 1402?
It's a bill that didn't even get a hearing in the House, so no one knows what's in it. So he's going to strip...
Confused.
He's going to strip this Senate Bill 1, which it needs to be stripped, right? It needs to be gutted. But now he's going to put this new thing in that's like a 200-page bill that I guess I've got a week to go read to figure out what's in it. These are the people that are running our... I have no idea what's in this bill as of speaking with you right now. No idea.
And Hammer put it so perfectly when he said just a few minutes ago that because we want property tax rates to go back to 2021 levels, the lights in the schools are going to go out.
That's what they're telling us.
Is that essentially kind of the essence of what the points they're trying to make, the people that are against SB 1?
Yeah, but the problem is that Mooresville superintendent apparently went to the same school of dumbassery that Greg Taylor did, because Greg Taylor, state senator, Democrat, who, look, I mean, I guess we should all be fortunate that he wasn't, attempting to grope an intern or a legislative assistant on his way up to the podium when he said that.
Okay.
But they give cover to these school systems. People like Greg Taylor give cover to these school systems to say something like that when he says it in his speech. He said during his speech, the snowplows could be in danger, the streetlights could be in danger. They provide fuel for these local government people to say stuff like this.
Joke's on you, Greg. I live in Marion County. I don't see the snowplows anyway.
That's right.
Joke's on you, buddy.
So you walk out of there, it's 9 hours of the same sob stories. Now the libraries could be in danger. They got in on it yesterday. Here's the one thing that worked in our favor. The A-team went to the Senate, spending Sue Finkham and the mayor from Terre Haute. You could tell they were like, I'm not dealing with Rob Kendall again. So they didn't want any part of it. So they had I would say the D team, but I don't even think it was the D team. It was the F team, like guys from Park County and Fulton County. And
remember that movie Aaron Brockovich? Have you guys seen Aaron Brockovich?
Long time ago.
There's a scene in that movie where Aaron and
Julie Roberts.
Yeah, and the guy that she's working with, they're in the office, and the big, powerful, conglomerate sends some intern to try to screw with them and lowball them. And they just look at this guy and just berate him because he's not a major player. That's kind of the feeling I have of what happened yesterday.
Yeah, they didn't want any part of that because they got tired of getting the crap. Now, there was another guy I got to tell you about, and we did 3 hours on this today, and we could have done another 3 hours. It was that ridiculous. The guy from Park County, I think he was a county councilor commissioner, he gets there and he goes, right out of the gate, he's bragging about all the taxes they've raised, the wheel tax, the income tax. He's like, we've maxed out all of our tax increases. We can't afford to have the property tax cut. We've already maxed out all of our tax increases. What would you like us to? Like, he was acting though he had achieved some major statue, as though he had gotten his sandwich card punched the correct amount of times and was.
Is that something you should be bragging about? Maxing out the taxes?
No, but these are who are running.
I'm no Rob Kendall here, but it kind of feels like that's really not a good move politically to brag about maxing out the taxes. Last thing, and I promise we're going to move on to something else because I don't want to wind you up for another 35 minutes on property taxes here.
I'd love it.
We talk about these ridiculous people that go up and say, well, if we go back to 2021 levels, then the lights might go out. We might not have firefighters. We might not have first responders. They can say all this ridiculous crap, but the problem is there are some people that believe it. That's where the problem is. It's not that these politicians are lying or they're full of crap. They're politicians. That's what they do. There are people that believe that, Rob.
And yesterday was a great example. So, and I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I gave it a good 4 hours. And in the 4 hours I saw, there was no
kidding.
I mean, it went 9, wow. Right? My wife at 5:30 is like,
Rob's baby's running around with like a lighter and a fork somewhere in the house.
Well, my wife, Gabrielle's like, at 5:30, she goes, you have to be a parent at some point today. Like, you're done. I'm cutting you off. But Casey ended up watching a bunch more of it too. There were no people we saw who spoke against the resets that don't make money off taxes in some form or fashion.
And Governor Braun just keeps saying, prove it.
Right.
Prove it.
Right.
And nobody's been able to prove that the lights are going to go out or firings or, in some cases, not hiring more people wouldn't happen.
Yeah, and this is where the rally on March 17th comes in, 1 p.m. at the State House. Wear your green. We're having this big property tax rally. You're emceeing the rally. We've got state reps that are going to be speaking. Mike is going to speak. Casey and I will speak. I'm working on some other surprises, but you got to show up to this because this thing is going to be in the heart. Look, this is all a glorified floor show until this thing gets to what's called the conference committee. So the Senate passed their version. The House is going to pass a much different version. Then they get together in a conference committee. There's two or four, whatever it is, 4 people that get in the room together from the House and the Senate, and they start hammering things out. That's where we're going to get something good or bad. This is all exhibition, preseason. It's spring training baseball right now. The rally on the 17th is about sending the message to the conference committee, and then most importantly, it's about sending a message to Braun. We're with you. Stay strong. Veto this thing if it's crap. Call the special session. We're with you.
And it's free to attend.
Oh, totally.
All right, so come back for one more session because we've got some audio of some dude ripping you.
and I think our audience might actually like it.
Perfect.
We're going off the rails with Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, when we're talking Barkeep vodka, we're talking local, we're talking distilled in Indiana, and we are talking the smoothest vodka we've ever tasted, and a better value than almost all the other top shelf vodkas available.
It's clean. It's smooth. It's a top shelf vodka sold at a low price. And it's also made and distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. So when you see the bottle of Barkeep vodka on the shelf, that's the one you want. Go to barkeepvodka.com for a list of locations to make that purchase.
Well, sure. Of course, we're all excited that spring is almost here in central Indy. But this month, when the weather still can't make up its mind and it's going back and forth between warm and cold, Hoosiers get a very specific type of roadway March Madness. It's called potholes. And they're a pain, but you know what? It's one of the reasons why I'm a AAA member. Peace of mind for the roadside assistance. I've had flat tires on the side of the road because of potholes. AAA has been there for me every time.
And if you're having tire issues, AAA's got you covered with their mobile tire service, My Pit Crew. They bring the tire shop to you. I've used this service before, and now that I got my 2 boys driving, this service protects the whole family. So if you don't have a spare, My Pit Crew from AAA, these guys are the best. MyPitCrew.com. You pick out the tires and schedule the install. Join AAA today. AAA members get a discount on My Pit Crew. You can get a AAA membership by calling 844-GO-AAA-GO or stop by any AAA office. AAA.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it is a one and done. Because we don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Common Threads has teamed up with the Indiana Fever to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc.
Kendall and Casey.
I'm a young, up-and-coming professional. We are people who want to work. We want to engage. We don't want to be freeloaders. And yet, it makes it very hard for young people to actually do that.
Kendall and Casey, 9 till noon on 93 WIBC.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
Yeah, Hammer, we are up in Westfield, and northbound 31 closed at 191st Street because of a crash. Been shut down for about an hour and a half now. Traffic is jammed all the way past 146th Street onto Keystone Parkway to 136. Now, we are moving in parts in this delay, and some of the parts not moving at all. So stay out of this if you can. Again, that's northbound 31 in Westfield, closed at 191st Street. Looking at eastbound 70, still stop-and-go traffic stopped in parts from 465 out to Mount Comfort Road, or a little before. We are moving in parts here, too, and the crash has cleared, so you should be on your feet here before too long. Crash coming southbound 65 on the approach to downtown. This is at the White River, blocking the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic almost to 38th Street, Kessler Boulevard. After that, 13-minute delay on southbound 65 from 38th Cass down to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 78-minute delay, Tibbs Avenue to the south split. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexeliad.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
41 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Back with Rob Kendall going off the rails on the Hammer and Nigel show. Who is this Stephen? Is it Whitmer guy?
He's a two-time loser.
All right, set this piece of audio up that I'm about to play, because I was in my car the other day and I heard you say, "Yeah, I've got some audio of some guy ripping me, using vulgar language,
Yes.
lots of bleeps." But I don't know who he is or what the context is or what's going on here. Something about the GOP Marion County leadership race, something like that. Is that the election there?
Stephen Whitmer has run for public office twice, maybe more, but he ran for city council, lost in a primary, then ran for state house, lost pretty bad there.
Okay.
And he was a big supporter of John Schmitz, who ran for Marion County GOP chair. And look,
we had John on, yeah.
John's a heck of a nice guy. He's a bad candidate. He has run several times. He has not really been close that I've seen in any of his races. And when he was running for Marion County chair, I told him for over a year, I said, you are associating with known idiots, and you're publicly associating with these people, and everybody knows who these people are. And when he decided he was going to run for chairman, I said, you have to distance yourself from these people, because it's all party insiders who are voting on you. And as long as you're grouped in with these knuckleheads, you're get your ass kicked in this
right,
race.
This wasn't a public thing. This was basically a glorified caucus where it's the people who see you interacting with people make the decision.
And he stayed with those guys until they turned on him, and then they turned on each other towards the end. But
so Natalie Goodwin, who we've also had on the program, won. She defeated John Schmitz,
like 2-1, basically.
And it seemed like Natalie is more establishment. Schmitz is more of the outsider type, and that's how these two were known as, right?
Right, but Schmitz was hanging out with no knuckleheads, and after the vote came in, I tweeted out something effective. I said, when you hang out with idiots and everybody who's voting knows what's going on, this is not random people showing up to vote, you shouldn't be surprised when the vote went the way it did. Well, this Whitmer guy, who, by the way, I've only had 1 or 2 interactions with him ever. They were all positive, very nice. I've never had a coarse word with him. He was apparently very angry that I pointed out, I told this guy something for a long time, and exactly what I said was going to happen happened.
But let me point this out to you, Rob. I know that you were at the bowling alley yesterday for the Hammer and Nigel thing. John Schmitz was there, and I asked some people, it's like, hey, did they squash the beef? Did Rob squash the beef with Kendall? And someone told me, he's like, yeah, I think they did. And so what does Rob Kendall do the following day? He does this, and it just shows how much of a piece of Rob Kendall is.
This is his podcast.
That you want to talk nice.
Yeah, what are we listening to here?
I guess he has a podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody to their face, and then you come back here, and then you talk crap about them. Go figure that Rob Kendall is a fake motherfucker. And anybody who thinks that Rob Kendall is a nice guy, I just showed you proof of how he isn't. He is a fraud. This whole property tax rally thing is a total distraction. By the way, notice that he's not talking about the LEAP project anymore, and there's a reason why.
Is there more Rob ranting on this?
Yeah, they never mention. They never mention LEAP
boring me
anymore.
already.
Why? The Gentrys? Oh yeah, the mayor of Lebanon.
Come on.
And also
Where's more
Josh
Rob?
Kennedy.
I need more
The
Rob.
chief of staff for Mike Braun. So, if Rob Kendall wants to stop being such a and talk about that, maybe I'll change my tune. But until then, he's a ass coward. And you know what?
Wow.
All of you can tell him that. And I want to know why he's having a property tax rally on a weekday. Who the is going to go to that thing in the middle of the day on a working day? That's why this whole property tax rally thing is totally fake. It's fake, just like Rob Kendall.
All right.
God, that guy annoys me. He's totally establishment, by the way. Stop thinking like he's part of the grassroots, because Rob Kendall is only to serve one person, and that is Rob Kendall. He doesn't really care. He just wants to make sure that he gets more airtime.
I don't know.
He's just an insecure little.
I don't know who this bozo is, but I'm subscribing to the Stephen Whitmer. I'm subscribing to the Steve Whitmer.
We're booking Steve Whitmer on the show on Thursdays.
But the deal is he can only rip Rob. That's all he could talk about.
He was just short of having a boiling pot of water on the stove saying, I will not be ignored, Dan. I mean, it's like, so I'm establishment now. We rip on LEAP all the time. I mean, we addressed all of this.
And whoever said you were a nice guy.
Yeah, right.
That's fake news right there. Special thanks to
Garage Doors of Indianapolis. You guys are the best.
He's off the rails. That's Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. Tax season is here, and what better way to reinvest in your home than with brand new energy-efficient windows? During Universal Windows Direct's Tax Time Sale, you can save big while making your home more comfortable and energy efficient. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. And here's something that will make your wallet even happier. Pay no interest until 2030.